The spectator will just, if they set the lobby up correctly, or if you set the lobby up correctly, it'll be a 3-minute delay. Oh my god, we're. Correct.
And hopefully you only have to use that once. I mean, like the 0-0. You know, you switch it to 1-0 and then you have to switch it again when Grinchy Goons, you know, finishes them off. You could probably have left it at 1-0 for Grinchy.
Shut the fuck up, Pickup. I'm an actual monkey right now.
Alright. I haven't used this website before.
It's easy.
Select
relatively. I got you. Yeah, you get the name. I'm not sharing the link. No, I'm just kidding. I have the link. Unacceptable. There it is. No, I literally typed it all out and then I was like pasted it. I'm like, oh wait.
Welcome everyone here to the CCS 2 stream. I am joined here with Glacial. How's it going today, Glacial?
It's going pretty well. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. We have a pretty big banger matchup right here between Grinchy, Goons, and Crosspoint Origin. You know, we've already started a draft, and we have two teams in the bottom of the CCS Thursday standings looking for Crosspoint, their first win, and Grinchy Goons, their second win. And while this matchup's gotten a lot of hype for some would say the wrong reasons, the reality of the situation is how close the Thursday standings are. A Grinchy Goons wins does put him in playoff contention. Now, looking at the draft so far, Glacial, what exactly do you see from both teams that interest you of these picks?
So first we have the first pick, Kaisa, coming out of Grinchy Goons. I personally am not like the biggest fan of this pick, but it does have the flex potential. It looks like they're going to be pairing it with the Nautilus here, so you actually have a really strong 2v2 bot lane. Crosspoint Origin actually went for the Senna here, which I think is a Senna support, if I remember correctly. It's something that Arrow likes to play on his part. And then they pick up Shyvana, which is one of those very strong power farming junglers, and it's going to be matched by Hecarim from the side of Grinchy Goons.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, Grinchy Goons have a lot of power picks so far. While the Kaisa first pick, I think it does have flexibility on the side of Grinchy Goons, right? Because they can flex in the mid lane or a bot lane spot. Really, the Kai'Sa Nautilus lane, as long as the Hecarim puts a very strong all-in from the side of the Goons. You know, you can go in with the Hecarim into the ulti, and Nautilus can follow up. And then Kai'Sa, obviously, the fact that her mobility and her overall presence as an AD carry, allowing her to follow up a lot of these engages, it's nice to have a support like Nautilus who can peel as well as follow up with her. But as we get into bans, it looks like from the side of a Crosspoint, they're targeting the top side, and while Grinchy Goons is taking those carries away.
Yeah, the Kai'Sa with the full AP build with the Nautilus ultimate is if Nautilus can get the ultimate off on the carry, they can say goodnight. That's going to be a lot of damage coming out if Kai'Sa can get to the backline. What I think is really interesting here coming out from Crosspoint is they actually picked up the Wukong. So not only can that be played top, but of course we've seen games where Senna's been paired with Wukong, fasting in the bot lane. So we'll see what they choose to bring out here. They have a lot of flexibility with this draft. And it will actually be the Lucian coming in here as another flexible pick.
Yeah, and I mean, right now from the side of Crosspoint Origin, as you said, a lot of flexibility. I mean, you expect to send a bot side, but again, you don't really know if these picks are going, right? I mean, the Lucian could technically be flexed in different directions, but Grinchy Goon so far, pretty standard right now in their pick. They're going a lot of engage here, right? And the Orin helps a lot of the scaling of the Kai'Sa as well as the Hecarim and Nautilus. It's going to be interesting. They're going to lap it up with an Akali, actually, so...
So we see a very hard engage and dive here over from the side of Grinchy Goons. So that's something that I really like to see, especially with some of these lower ranked teams. Is you see a lot like a comp that's very easy to execute, very easy to just have that go button and know when to fight. Getting on the same page, having a comp like this is really helpful. And we actually see a Pantheon like that here for Crosspoint Origins. So we're just filled with flex picks. Of course, we got Shyvana could go top in jungle. Wukong could go top or AD, Pantheon, like who even knows where any of this stuff is going, right? And of course, they're going to be having a little bit of a challenge on their hands here with the hard engage on the side of Grinchy Goons.
Yeah, and I mean, really looking at all of these compositions, like you said, it's going to be very difficult for Crosspoint Origin. Game matchup against this Grinchy Goons engage. I mean, yes, like you said, you have the Ornn ulti, you have the Hecarim ulti, you have the Akali and Kai'Sa follow-up. And really, from the side of Crosspoint, what exact peel or disengage do you really have on this team, right? I mean, I guess you do have the ability. I mean, I guess you definitely have the ability to kite back here from the Lucian, and obviously you have like China Shield. But it looks very difficult, in my opinion, from the side of Crosspoint Origin to actually stop any of the Grinchy Goons engage if it can actually come off.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, Shyvana really likes taking those face-to-face fights, but at the same time, if they're able to get on top of the Senna or get on top of this Lucian, they're really going to be like running out of damage fast here. So. They're going to have to play a pretty clean game. Make sure to look for those picks with the Pantheon and the Wukong ultimate. Maybe with the Senna invisibility as well. Find some catch out Kai'Sa there maybe. And if they can do that, then they might have a way into this game.
Yep, but as we look to get in the actual game so far, really look at both these compositions, Glacial. What do you really think is the win con here from the side of Crosspoint Origin? Obviously, we don't exactly know where picks are going. There's technically still flexibility for it to happen. But it literally looks like from the side of a Crosspoint, we're going to really find out a lot about their draft once the picks comes in. Where do you think these picks are actually going to go?
Oh, that's a tough question for sure. As much as I'm a fan of the Wukong Senna bot lane, I'm thinking we might see something like Pantheon mid maybe to match the Akali with the point and click stun. And then something like Lucian and Senna bot lane, which is going to look to try and use the range to their advantage and maybe send the Wukong top and just get Divine Sunder, beat up the tank. Wukong has a lot of damage and he's able to deal with some of those top lane tanks pretty well.
Yeah, and I think another thing you have to realize here from the side of Crosspoint is a mistake that they did not make, that some teams have made, is they didn't give up the Rengar. Something I think we saw PGO make against Kerndog, who's actually playing today in the jungle. So realistically, seeing that situation come through, it's going to be quite interesting to see how Grinchy Goons does adapt in this game, especially in the fact that Kerndog will not be on signature once you're champion. But so far, nothing too crazy. We do see the Pantheon go topside in the Shyvana jungle, and you expect pretty standard from the side of Crosspoint for Crosspoint and Grinchy Goons.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course here, if Grinchy Goons, Kai'Sa will take a little bit more time to come online, might have a little bit of trouble farming against, that power bot lane. But if they can make it to their ultimates, they're going to have a pretty easy time just looking for skirmishes, looking for numbers advantage, maybe looking for picks with the Hecarim and the Nautilus, and that's going to be the way that they're going to want to take this game.
Yeah, and I think one of the things we have to highlight here is from the side of Crosspoint. We mentioned a lot their engage, but the side of Grinchy Goons are engaged. But Glacial, when you look at this team, what exactly is the early game priority, right? I mean, You do expect a lot of aggression from side of Crosspoint. Seems like there's a lot of skill mechanics that could be available here with the champions they have, especially early on. What do you think is the early game play here from the side of the Goons to try to get the game towards the mid game and later on when you expect them to start winning these team fights?
I expect them to try and look to maybe unlock the Pantheon mid lane. If they can get him the advantage and get him moving across the map, maybe look for invades with the Shyvana. Just try and like get numbers advantages wherever you can. Maybe use the push from the bot lane. That's going to be the key to this match. If they can keep Grinchy Goons, stuck under their towers, leave them feeling, not really proactive, and maybe if they're able to take some of those early objectives, then they're going to have a bit of a head up going into the mid and late game.
Yeah, and I mean, as these picks are coming through, we finally have the actual 5 picks in general. It looks like it is going to be a Lucian mid, so this actually will be Wukong Senna bot lane. No, it's not really lane I've
There
seen
it
here,
is.
Glacial.
That
So,
is what I pointed out. So, yeah, I mean, normally what you're looking to do, just let the Wukong farm up a bit, and then once you get those levels, just the power of having a bruiser in the bot lane along with the 80 carry, it's going to be a lot of damage coming out. It's going to be very hard for Kai'Sa to really want to go in because Wukong just has that a lot of burst damage, and it's really going to be hard for her to pick off, especially with the decoy on the side of Wukong. Maybe you could use that to dodge some of the Nautilus and Kai'Sa abilities, and they should be actually a head up in this 2v2.
yeah, this is really interesting. I kind of like this from Crosspoint, right? They're basically, more or less, let's be honest, they have to win out, right? Well, actually, not that they have to, they literally have to win out. They're 0-6, if I recall. They're basically 6th place right now is free and free. Mathematically speaking, I haven't actually done the specific tiebreaker scenarios, but no matter what, one thing's for certain, they more or less have to win every single match. And if that is the case, they're going for something interesting. If you're in Crosspoint right now, you're trying to 2-0, and going for something a lot of people didn't expect here with the Wukong Senna bot side. Arrow has played the Senna before, like you mentioned. And I'm interested to see how Wukong actually uses that decoy mechanic, like you mentioned, to potentially kind of space out this Nautilus when he tries to engage. But going into the top play matchup right here, how much priority and how much of a timer do you think Pantheon is on the Ornn here, Galeso?
I'm not too familiar with top lane, but from my experience, we have actually picked some Pantheon in scrims, and I have to say, playing Pantheon into a tank in lane, you're going to have some early pressure for the first 2 levels, but after that, it's really going to be very hard for Pantheon to match this Ornn in the side lane. So I think that's what they're going to get to do there is, get the early advantage with the levels and then just look to move around the map, like I was saying. Pantheon has a lot of pick potential with some of these ultimates you could go for, and that's really what you're going to want to do with the champion. If you play standard, you're going to fall behind.
Yeah, and I mean, before we go into a quick intermission break here, Glacial, looking at all these champions and kind of this very interesting, unique style from Crosspoint Origin, and obviously some more standard, engaged dive company from the side of Grinchy Goons. If you had to pick someone for game 1 here, Glacial, who do you think is taking this?
I think Grinchy Goons, if they just sit back, play standard, respect the Pantheon and the Wukong, then they're gonna have a leg up in the match, and I think that Crosspoint will be defeated.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comparison. I think really the first 10 minutes, like it's like early game, as long as they just respect these more unique and skill-oriented picks, they should be fine. Besides that, we're about to go into a quick break. We'll see you guys back after the intermission, and hope you guys join us here for game 1 of Grinchy Goons and Crosspoint Origin. Welcome back here to Grinchy Goons versus Crosspoint Origin. Truly a banger match here. Now, as you were saying, Glacial, I'm super interested on this matchups here, especially from the side of Crosspoint Origin. What exactly we're going to do? We're almost like a timer right here. So it's going to be very, very important for him to kind of be aggressive, make the plays necessary, because as this game goes on, the Orin items and the overall scaling from the side of Grinchy Goons should lead him to the victory.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's very interesting for Crosspoint to take the idea of, if we're going to want to take some games, we're going to have to try something different. Maybe throw our opponents off, pick some of these more unconventional picks that you're not exactly used to playing against or scrimming against. One thing I do want to point out coming in here right away is Exhaust and Lethal Tempo on Shyvana. So that's very unconventional, but what those do in tandem is it's going to be very, very hard to duel this Shyvana. You're going to have to give her a lot of respect. Hecarim won't really be able to take her on, especially for some of these early levels. And, it's really conducive to trying to go for those cheese plays, look for those 1v1s and get your early advantage that way.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be very interesting, like as you mentioned, these duels. I mean, really, on the side of Grinchy Goons, I don't really expect too much aggression, like you mentioned. I mean, I don't know if they really want to. Looking at that 2v2 matchup here, Glacial, do you think the Lucian and Shyvana should have the advantage, especially in the early levels?
Absolutely. I mean, Lucian's going to have a lot of, early pressure on top of the Akali. She's just going to have to sit back. Actually, it looks like what they're doing here is they're actually sending Pantheon mid lane and Lucian into the top lane, which I actually think is a little bit more favorable here. So it's not exactly what we're expecting coming in, but Lucian should actually have an easier time dealing with the Ornn. Oh, looks like we're going for some early trades. And here you can see the Senna with the range advantage, looking to go for the harass on the weak early Kai'Sa Nautilus bot lane. Also, this trading back a little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage.
Oh, Ranger's got to be careful here.
Oh my god, good play from Ranger's going in aggressive.
It's going to be ticking down. One auto away from dying. They're not exactly going to be able to get him.
Here. Yeah, and I mean, I really didn't expect it from the side of Grinchy Goons to go for that play, but they went super aggressive here on the side of Crosspoint. Looks like Ranger's going to immediately TP in, but the level 2 advantage on the side of Crosspoint here, and more or less, the level 2 advantage from the side of Grinchy Goons here, more or less just flashed already blown, and TP was really bad here from the side of Crosspoint game.
Yeah, Wukong has to pay a lot more respect, not only to the level 2 advantage that Kai'Sa and Nautilus had going into the fight, but also just the fact that you're playing a melee champion. When you're walking up for those CS, he was getting harassed, they were able to hit him down. Oh, Pantheon.
Just a little trade with Pantheon.
Yeah, Pantheon should actually be able to really take on the Akali if she ever tries to go for anything. You have the stun, you have the shield, you're going to be able to mitigate a lot of her damage here. And hopefully get that shove and get what you need to do to move around the map.
Yeah, and I mean, just so far from the side of Grinchy Goons so far, I mean, looking at the CS numbers, nothing particularly crazy, but that level 2 huge from them. And really on this Ranger and Arrow matchup right here. Oh, Pantheon going here. Oh, and Akali very aggressively. Big damage on Kim Kalenta. There's the Ignite. He's just going to take down. That's dead. Solo kill for Guster Posty.
Yeah, there's the Pantheon in action. And, it's really easy to execute going in with the Ignite. And Akali simply just was not prepared for the burst damage coming out there.
Warhead's going in. Here comes Ranger. Go for a big play. Arrow comes in. You're going to get these Nautilus. Nautilus is going to be rooted up. A lot of damage on Gravel. He's got to get out. He has to get out. Kitey. Good Kitey from his side. He's going to actually hook back in.
Hook back.
Aggressive. Be careful, Ranger. He's going to go in. He's going to try to blink it. Does not have Ranger's going to die.
Just Wukong just going too far again. You cannot tower dive this early into the game. And here we see they're going Goons going for a cross-map play now. They're going to be losing on both sides of the map here. This early on, it's not looking too good.
Yeah, and I mean, I was about to highlight the great kill here from the side of Crossbow in the mid lane. It was great from Pantheon, kind of abusing the fact that you can switch those solo lanes, get the advantage on King Kalente, get the kill with the Ignite. And then what do we see here? I mean, good job by Guster Posty not dying to the gank from Hecarim. But on the bot side, Ranger getting a little too excited, trying to dive the tower, and the kill goes on Kai'Sa. So now Altruism has a 10 CS and 1 kill advantage for the side of Grinchy Goons.
Yeah, and that's going to be very big for the Kai'Sa here. I would really not expecting the Shyvana to be going towards that side of the map because Wukong and Senna, they don't really have a lot of CC to set up the Shyvana. That's the one thing that she really lacks. She's going to have a hard time ganking these lanes without setup. So I think she should try and focus more around mid, maybe more around top lane, and try and get, top lane with an advantage here with the Lucian, get him ahead, make it so the Ornn has a lot more trouble farming here. make it so the Akali might have a lot more trouble, you know, scaling up, getting level 6, and getting the kill pressure.
Hold on a second, Glacial Guster's going for a play here. On weak side, Refuge, he's trying to chase him down. Here comes the damage Gus. He's trying to get some trading. Nothing crazy besides that. I thought for a second, Gus was about to go for all in play, but lack of Ignite. Still TP on the top side. He's just going to stop the Ornn back.
Yeah, and I mean, Ornn's perfectly happy with this. He might have had his back stopped here by the Lucian, but, I mean, he's still healthy. He's still got the mana, and now he just has the TP advantage, which should give him a lot more safety if they chunk him out here in the top lane.
Yeah, Smeo, Gus is supposed to do a lot of trading on weak side Refuge. Good trading, Gus. He's still going for aggressive. He's trying to make the play. Be careful the wave, though, Gus. Not Gus. For a great play. I mean, ooh, it's just very interesting to see from Crosspoint Origin, right? They know they have to make these plays.
Oh, and there's the ultimate. Pulling coming out here. Oh, that's gonna be a solo kill in the top lane. Or not blowing his flash.
Yeah, and I mean, Guster Posey, I did not expect him go for his aggressive plays. This kind of almost like, I guess, we're so committed for these plays, I guess. I mean, he's really trying to get these kills, and I have to respect it. Both solo lanes from Crosspoint Origin have both kills, and credit to credit's due, Crosspoint Origin knowing what they have to do. They have an 800 gold lead now, and really, if the bot side just holds back a bit, Robert's looking for a player. Good route on Ranger. Ranger into the decoy. He gets out here trying to run away. The monkey's trying to get out of the play.
That's the power of the Wukong decoy there. It's going to give you a lot more safety compared to some of the other traditional bruisers who might want to pair with Senna in the bot lane. Oh, they're going to find the hook on Senna as well.
Arrow has to be careful here.
Has flashed up.
Oh, me on mid side.
Another trade. Ignite goes down.
Guys, just a lot of action in both these teams right now, Glacial. It's just so hard to keep up here. Both teams are trying to be proactive. I think for Grinchy Goons, just kind of slow it down a bit. I mean, you're doing well bot side. The Ornn's, you know, he's not losing too bad, but it really looks like he's trying to fight back.
Oh, the flash!
Yes,
it's just going to be a solo kill. Holly's just dead, and she's going to be missing out on this whole wave.
Yeah, and I mean,
Crosspoint Origin really playing through these solo lanes here, able to find the advantage. Well, the World's going to come out.
Weakside does miss the ulti. Should be a Pantheon here. Good. Yeah, so kill off Pantheon. Yeah, and Warhead, he's still trying to fight here. Trying to keep some play. He should be able to get out here. But overall here, I mean, Grinchy Goons, they just, I don't know. I don't really understand here. They're playing maybe too aggressive. They need to. 2 kills already on this Akali early. Hold it for a second. Not a big hook.
Another flash. Burn, just that easy. They're able to find Senna, and now with the level advantage on Kai'Sa, they're really going to have a lot of pressure in this bot lane. Of course, we see a massive CS lead for Kai'Sa, which is very good for her. You know, traditionally, her laning's not the strongest. You want to scale up. You want to get to those 2 items, get those evolves before you're really able to come online. And having a lane this dominant, that's something that Crosspoint's going to have to watch out here for.
Yeah, and I mean, as you were saying right now, the one thing that Grinchy Goons does have going for him is they're out all 20 CS, but Pantheon it did. Huge all out for Ultra trying to get away. He's trying to cut away. There's no way he's gonna get out of this. No, Pantheon does not kill him.
Oh, she just barely lives on the smallest amount of health in the re-engage.
Fight comes in, Kerndog, he's in this fight. This should be 3 easy kills for the side of Grinchy Goons. They're gonna chase down Arrow. Arrow should be dead. Ranger, he's about to die as well, unless you use decoy. Good hook on another kill.
What a punish for Grinchy Goons. Able to shut down the Pantheon play, and just like that, they've taken a big advantage at this point in the game.
For a second, I thought Guster's but Guster's about to go for another play on the top side, but oh my lord, you know, for Crosspoint Origin, I was about to come about what we were playing. Early advantage away, now the bot side away, now no way he's CS, does not kill him.
Oh, she just barely lives on the smallest amount of health in the re-engage.
So, all of a sudden, this entire game turns in a head. Scaling matchup here for side Grinchy Goons. They have the Ornn, who isn't exactly doing super poor, but the one thing I want to highlight, look at mid lane. Akali is at 30 ATS, just got 41, excuse me. And yes, the Pantheon, who did get swapped mid lane, is not up that much PS, but so much pressure. He has to be careful here. Could dive her again, but she's gonna be fine though.
She really just wants to get out of this lane, especially with the Pantheon ult down. That's probably her best window, but of course, Pantheon with just so much pressure, able to keep the shove, keep Akali, but she's actually gonna go in with the ulti here. Senna ult, gonna be saving her.
God!
And that's just too much damage. She maybe bit off a little bit more she can chew there.
Yeah, King Calente, I don't really know exactly what you're doing here. I mean, you go for another play mid lane, you die for the 3rd time. Really, if I'm the side of Grinchy Goons right now, I'm just kind of telling mid laner, hold down, don't be too aggressive. Ultra is up 20 CS and a kill. It's probably up to, what, 30 CS gold here? It's pretty big, but I mean, as long as the Akali keeps running it down, we also have to remember, on the side lane, right, you probably match her up the Lucian, and if that's the case, the Lucian or Panther should be able to take down pretty easily in the side lane, but Bravo, trying to kite back, nothing crazy though. Weak side, good credit to him. Now get, well, here comes Gus, she's trying to pick a big play here. Only some trading. thought he was going for a huge play as well. He does have V calling almost in about a second or two. On the other side, we stabilize in the gold. Fairly even, but the Dragon advantage and the scaling on the side of Grinchy Goons. Hope does miss from Grabo here, though.
With Hecarim playing more towards the bot side now, I'd expect to see maybe Guster Posey just look to try and bully off the Ornn maybe a little bit more. Of course, he's going to be feeling a lot more pressure now after, you know, that big throw that happened bot side, where they're going to get the punish. They get the 2 kills on the Hecarim, and another hook's actually coming out here.
Yep, it's going to be the decovo, nothing crazy. Yeah. Good damage from Altruism, though. Huge on Arrow, but you should be fine here. Both jungles are on both bot side of the map, so anything can technically happen here, but if I'm really on the side of Grinchy Goons...
Kali is here looking for the roam.
Yeah,
Lucian keeping the wave under his tower here.
Hope comes in here. Here comes the player from the side.
Shyvana is on the way. Pantheon on the way. They're looking to shut down this bot lane.
Been caught out. He should be dead here. No, he's gonna back off. He should be fine here. The reposition does not work on Kai'Sa. He is dead. 2 kills here for Crosspoint Origin. Meanwhile, top side, nothing does occur, and it's just, just 2 kills for the side of Crosspoint Origin. As you were about to compliment this bot side, they just died.
Yeah, they're just pushing up too far. They're trading too hard. And of course, there's the pressure from the Pantheon. Maybe even weren't exactly tracking Shyvana the best, and they're just able to pick up 2 basically free kills on the bot side. They're going to be losing a lot of minions as well. Hecarim actually just jumping in. He's trying to pick up the wave, but, you know, Shyvana's still down here.
Nope.
Probably might be looking to get in.
This is very interesting.
Oh, she takes it.
Actually going to go in here. He's going to try to look for a play, but he just can't kite it out. They have to be careful. You know, on the top side, Gus, he's about to get soloed here. In the top side here, big Ornn ulti comes in. He actually does juke it. Gus is going to be okay, and I was as confused as you were, Glacial. I didn't expect the Akali to take that E.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, they're able to neutralize on the bot side after that. Of course, that's Crosspoint picking up 2 really, you know, big shutdown onto Kai'Sa. They're going to swing some gold back into her favor. Of course, Pantheon looking really strong now with the Ghost Blade. Still just looking to keep roaming. One thing I do want to comment on is in that last fight, Lucian did actually have to blow his flash topside. So maybe we're going to be seeing Hecarim playing more towards this top side. Lucian very squishy, very easy to kill if you're not playing carefully. And maybe they're going to be looking to make a play towards top side, maybe grab the Herald as well.
Yeah, the one thing I do is with the Lucian, from Benefit's perspective, he does have 100 CS. He is currently leading everyone except for Kai'Sa. But compared to the solo laners, doing quite well here. Guster Posey, I think he's been more of a consistent player inside of Crosspoint. I mean, yes, Crosspoint, they haven't won a game. They haven't exactly pulled the best CCS season. They're really fighting for their life, but it's good to see the stability on the mid side. I guess the top side in this case, they didn't swap them. But hold up for a second here. Colonel looking for a player in Warhead. A lot of trading coming through Colonel. He has to kite back. He should be able to go here. And King Caliente. Hook goes on the Pantheon.
The roam from the Nautilus.
He's going to have to play here. Nautilus Hawk comes in.
Pantheon just blocks all the damage there. It's going to be really hard to burst down this champion.
Yeah, and I think
from there.
I think as you were saying that King Caliente, he was like, should I take the E? Should I take the E? And decides like, you know, I'm not gonna dive. Don't have to play it safe. But yeah, I mean, Crosspoint does have a 2K gold lead right now. Glacial, how do you think Crosspoint's playing this early game so far, all things considered?
I think it's really, you know, they've done what they've needed to do. They've gotten their small lead top lane. You can see him take down a second plating here just for himself. You know, they have the mid lane solo kills, and they've gotten the Pantheon down to the bot lane where they do need him, and they have picked up a couple kills onto him. They've picked up some dives on the mid laner as well, so they've really been utilizing this Pantheon pick, I think, correctly. The bot lane, you know, they got a little bit destroyed in the 2v2, but all they have to really do now is just play safe.
Huge hook by Nautilus! Great hook here. Arrow should be dead here. He comes the ulti. He gets the hook play.
Oh, but Nautilus not able to get her, and the Pantheon again.
Oh my god, Pantheon, he's gonna clean up here. 1 kill away. That's another kill from inside of Crosspoint Origin. What a turnaround here by the Pantheon. Great fall down come in. He comes down from the mid lane. He gets the kill. King Caliente, I do not advise you to take that E, Mr. Caliente. He's not going to, but oh my god, great turnaround from the Crosspoint Origin solo lane. He's carrying this early game so far.
And again, you see the same mistake from the Grinchy Goons bot lane.
Ranger should be fine here, I think, but Kerndog still tries to take
it. Senna, Kerndog going for the 2v1.
Should be fine here. Arrow, big damage here on Kerndog. Kerndog should be fine. Kerndog, he's like, be a little careful here, boy. I mean, he's going very, very aggressive and trying to like keep the horse, you know, down there because he's trying to make these plays. But so far, I think from the side of Grinchy Goons, they have this scaling advantage. I feel like we've been repeating over and over again, and they're just trying to make these plays. And speaking of these plays, Grabo's going for Pantheon here to get Kali back in the game. Pantheon should be dead here, unless something crazy happens. Good play by King Caliente. Should be cleaning up here. Get the kill onto the Kali. Yes, that's a 600 gold shutdown on King Caliente. Great job here from the Grabo here, roaming down mid lane, getting that kill for his mid lane.
That's gonna be a very, very good play. Get some gold back on our Kali. Try to get her back into the game. Of course, we just saw the same thing again with the Grinchy Goons bot lane, pushing up, trying to look for a 2v2, but just not respecting the Pantheon ultimate. Now roaming up and being able to grab that shutdown is a really good way to kind of jump back from that. I think another key thing here with the Nautilus pick, once the Kaisa, gets this lead, you don't have to support her as much. She's fine farming. She can clear the waves nice and fast. And Nautilus can really look for these roams, try to shut down the Pantheon in his own lane, and get a Kali ahead. I think that's a really good play coming out here from the Nautilus.
Yeah, 100%. I think I kind of needed to know. I mean, there's a Kali. I mean, Sporn isn't pretty stable off his consider, but there's a Kali is really behind. I mean, not a lot of pressure so far, and you want this Kali to be able to for a second here. King Kali, he's gonna go on Warhead here. The 1v1 comes in, but the Shabbat is so much damage. Turned out he's coming in as well. Not also a flank in the backside. He hits Pantheon. Huge all here by Hecarim. URL is gonna come in, not gonna hit Pantheon. Trying to blow up a Kali does not work. Shabbat also dead. Here comes his arrow ulti. Keeps going alive.
Senna ult.
The 1v3. He's gonna die as well.
That's a really massive play. They're gonna look for the dive on the bot side in return.
Can he outplay this? He's in the 1v2.
Altruism. That's a lot of damage. He has the killer instinct as well. Looks like they're not gonna be going for anything.
No, I mean, that is just huge for the side of Grinchy Goons here. 3 kills on the top side of the map, completely changing this game around. Huge play from the Goons and the Senna ulti. For a second, Glacial, for a second, I thought maybe turn the fight around.
Yeah, but another thing here, the Nautilus again, Crosspoint, it's like their demon. He just comes out of the shadows, gets the massive play.
Ranger house of altruism. But he has to be careful here. King Caliente gets to be a double kill for him. He's trying to run back here. The Rift Trout's going to be mid lane as well, though. So right now we have 2 plays on both sides of the map here. Panther, he's trying to go deeper on Kundra. Kundra could be dead here. Oh my god! Huge damage.
The Pantheon, that is strong right there. And this is no tank Hecarim build. This is the damage bruiser DPS Hecarim build. You gotta give more respect to the assassins there.
And can I remind you real quick? That was a 500 shutdown gold on the Pantheon, and he still has a 250 shutdown. So it feels really bad here. Huge on Pantheon, and back and forth. 20 kills in 17 minutes.
Look at that, just like that. Wukong back ahead of Kaisa in gold. Kaisa just not respecting a lot of the pressure from the Pantheon, and you just saw right there the tower dive pressure from the Wukong, the burst coming out with the Divine Sunder. She was just not safe there, and she paid dearly. And now they're they have a lead basically everywhere except for the jungle now. If they can try to carry this out through the game, then they might have a chance in this one.
And Glacial, you as an 80 career player yourself, you kind of know this. I mean, if your support Nautilus is roaming the map for basically the last 5 minutes, you have to respect a kill lane in Wukong Center, right? And speaking of a kill lane, Champion, good damage on King Caliente. I mean, I'm kind of impressed here from the side of the solo laners of Crosspoint Origin. They've actually been playing, mechanically at least, these Lucian and
the Hecarim.
Damage.
He's a little bit more for the tower.
They're gonna get the tower here. Ranger, can he 1v2 here? He's on Ultra. He's trying to run away.
No Cyclone.
Pantheon.
Pantheon goes in the 1 versus 3.
He's gonna actually get the Kaisa here. He's gonna keep fighting. Nope. And for a second
gives up
there.
a shutdown to Hecarim. Just a very greedy play from Crosspoint here, over forcing on the tower, not respecting the Hecarim, and he's just able to come in and they basically just get, 3 kills back for 1.
Yeah, I think from the side of Crosspoint, they thought they could get the tower before the actual fight began, but they underestimated it. It took a lot of damage. Grabo, be careful there.
If they had Pantheon there sooner, maybe it changes, but him just, by the time he gets to there, Wukong's dead, he doesn't have the ultimate, Senna just gets 1 shot. And you're basically jumping in 1v3 and just giving up that shutdown for a 1-for-1. I don't really know if that's worth it.
Yeah, speaking of not being worth it, Grabo, he's trying to run away. Kerndog, he's gonna die here too. Ranger, he's so close. TPs are coming out. Ranger's gonna die. Arrow ulti comes in. That's a shutdown on the Hecarim. Here comes the ulti. He's trying to make a huge play here. Senna as well coming in. Huge C from the side. Ranger, he's dead as well. Warhead's fighting.
The Wukong's dead. Shyvana has to do it all.
Another kill down. Gus, he's going crazy in the backside here. This should be a double kill for him. Dude's 2 down. You on the top side, Shyvana, like you said, went crazy in the backside of the team fight. And a turnaround for Crosspoint Origin. I mean, this game is just a fiesta so far, Glacier. I don't know who the hell is winning.
1-for-4 bot lane, just a massive play. It looks like Hecarim just once again just like overcommitting onto that tower. Wukong's able to dish out damage, and Hecarim just dying like that. The fight was over, but they kept going. Shyvana might have had to try and push it a little bit harder, and she does. You know, Kai'Sa's never even able to get into the fight, and yeah, it's just constant back and forth here. But once again, Crosspoint sitting in a comfortable position if they're able to hold on to it.
Oh, speaking of comfortable, I think Ultra's just dead here. Pantheon Sun comes in. He's gonna flash
burns
away.
the flash.
Oh my god. I've been trying to ask you this for like the last 5 minutes, Glacial. What do you think the kill count's gonna be at the end of the game? We're on 26? Or, sorry, 29 at 20 minutes. So are we hitting 50, you think?
I mean, we asked for, you know, we asked for roams, we asked for action, we asked for kills, and that's just exactly what we're getting in this game here.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I don't know if you got a chance to watch the TA Light DNX matchup yesterday, and we had, like, I think, like, 7 kills in, like, 20 minutes. Exact opposite here on the Grinchy Goons Crosspoint CCS 2 stream. There's so many fighting. I don't know, I really don't know who is winning. I've been trying to be like, oh, I think Crosspoint over getting the early pressure, then they throw the lead, right? And then I'm like, okay, Grinchy Goons scales, then they throw the lead. And it just seems like neither of these teams want to win at the simultaneously at the same time. It's so crazy.
I mean, Crosspoint has the kills where they need them. They just have to take plays in their favor.
Oh,
Nautilus just too far. Hecarim's going in. What are you doing? There's 4 people there. Oh, another. That's what you mean. I mean, you have. That's the thing with. You're playing at this level, you have to look at the numbers, you have to evaluate the fights. Are they in your favor before you take them? And we just see Nautilus getting caught out there, but Hecarim choosing to actually go in on the 1v4 play.
This is just fair for Crosspoint here. Yeah. Unless Grinchy Goons, you're trying to contest here, actually. No? Here comes the ulti.
He's gonna hit a few, but they're backing off now.
So, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of surprised they back up. I really thought they were about to take that team fight, but
I mean, at this rate, I mean, who even knows what's gonna happen, right? But that's just a disaster for Grinchy Goons.
Oh, 100% here. And I think the real question is, I do like the ability and kind of like the priorities put himself to get these wards out and be aggressive and roam and kind of give his team vision. And he is leading the vision score right now at 40. I really liked it from the side of support, right? He's being proactive. He's trying to make plays. He made a lot of good roams. And the Solans, I think, have gotten the Akali back in the game. And he dies there overextending. I mean, it's fine, right? It's the elo, plays like this happen, but for Kerndog, what are you doing? Oh, speaking of what he's doing, Ultra does not have flash here. He has to be careful wards when he chases him down. That's a lot of slow.
Gonna be dead here. He doesn't have the flash. That's just another kill picked up. And they just have to be careful. You know, Crosspoint, they're playing as a team right now. You know, they said, we just need to group up. We don't want to give them the favorable fight. And Grinchy's just walking into it. So they're able to pick up a lot of kills here. And with the Baron, we're going to see a lot of these towers start to fall now that the Nautilus is down. And they're going to try and get the top lane here maybe as well. Looks like they're just going to be pushing down the mid. But
at the same time, they have
the flash in!
Tyson does not have flash here. He tries to ult away.
The Killer Instinct is cancelled, but not any follow-up left.
Oh my god, I was about to say, really well played from Ranger. Like you mentioned, stops the Killer Instinct. Kerndog, is he trying to go for a flank here? No, he's actually getting caught out here from Pantheon. Pantheon, huge jam on Kerndog. The 1v1
has to get out. But that's a lot of damage.
Oh my
the flash.
Kerndog, this bruiser Hecarim.
I mean, this is the damage. This is where your kills are.
No,
he's taking for the points. Oh, Nautilus. Oh, the hook. Is he gonna survive this?
Oh,
the burst from the ulti.
Kai'Sa has to back off here. Or he's trying to get out here. Huge damage from Warhead. And
I mean, Crosspoint are still up people. They still got all their Barons.
Yeah,
these towers are just gonna fall.
At the same time, Kerndog's in the enemy jungle right now, taking camps, I think. Is he trying to flank from the backside? Are we seeing the flank from Kerndog? He does not have ulti here though, so.
I mean, if he's about to just walk into them again, he has no vision. He's just gonna face check them again.
He's gonna run away. Guts are posted. He's here. He's doing for a big damage. Kerndog is dead again.
He can't do that.
I
mean, wow. Crosspoint is just the entire jungle's just black for Grinchy, and they're still trying to force these plays. What they're gonna really want to do here is just consolidate, stop giving over these free kills, play with your vision, play as a team, move as a team, and you're gonna stop giving up a lot of these picks because we see Kerndog's dying. Nautilus just keeps getting caught out. And as much as I want to credit Nautilus for making a lot of these really big proactive roams in the early game to get the top side back ahead, get the bot side ahead, he's getting caught out a lot here, and Crosspoint are taking advantage of it spectacularly. They were able to get 4 towers with that Baron.
Hold on a second, Glacial. A fight could be happening. Literally at any moment a fight could be happening, but I have an itchy feeling that a fight's about to happen here in this Dragon Pit.
Yeah, Dragon's gonna be up very soon.
Yeah, and I mean, Grinchy Goons, they understand the play here, but Kalante has to be careful. This Pantheon, he shows no fear. For better or for worse, he shows no fear here, walking through his bush. And priority, red side already has a Dragon priority. Teamfight's about to happen. Warrior, he's about to call out. He's in a 1v5 here. He's trying to get out here. Fight comes in. Oh, here coming huge arrow ulti.
Ulti coming out.
They're gonna get her. Shyvana's dead. Pantheon is
Shyvana's dead as well. Pantheon's dead as well. They have to kite back here. Huge off of
They're
Gus.
onto the
He
Senna.
has to
Senna
carry.
might be falling too. Wukong. And
my
just
God.
like that, Crosspoint,
Raider's dead.
they're all gonna be dead.
And that's
Crosspoint were up
four.
so far. They were up so far. 8,000 gold, but Shyvana just getting caught out again. Pantheon, they're not playing together. And you know, really good from Grinchy Goons to group up there and force all of these, you know, free kills, just force their way into the pit. And Crosspoint was just not ready to fight back.
I really don't know what to say. That wasn't even a team fight. That was just kind of a disaster from side of Crosspoint Origin, if I have to be honest. I mean, he just got caught out from the Shyvana. And then Arrow, I mean, credit to him. He tried to look the ultimate. He tried to basically keep the team alive, but it seemed like Guster Posey understood the priority, right? He was like, hey guys, we have to kite back here. Kite back, try to get a lead into us. And the rest of the team, they were in the same pick here. Miss Pantheon, I said it earlier, for better or for worse, he wants to go in. And
Yeah,
for worse this time, he went
I'm
in.
really surprised that we just didn't see Shyvana try and ult out right away because, you know, they're all able to get on top of her. You know, the Hecarim forcing her back into the team with the Nautilus. There's a lot of CC single pick on the side of Grinchy Goons. And you have to be careful of that, even if you're going to be this tanky Shyvana. If they're able to just, you know, isolate you, focus you down, then Pantheon's just jumping in. He has no one to back him up now. Wukong's trying to jump in. You know, Pantheon's already dead. And once Hecarim gets onto the Lucian or the Senna, they're just going to be gone. They're done. And just like that, I mean, that's going to be a really big team fight for Grinchy Goons. And just like that, they're back in the game.
Yeah, but hold your horses. If this game has shown us anything, we're about to see Grinchy Goons pro a team fight right now. Just be careful.
Absolutely.
It's coming. You can see the anticipation, right? Just like, I'm waiting for someone on the side of Grinchy Goons to just die. For just really no reason, if I had to be completely honest. Just die. But
I mean, just despite the disaster team fight from Crosspoint, I mean, look at the map. They're still gonna have
speaking of
pressure
disaster-
everywhere. Oh,
he's
he's
about
just
to get
able to
off.
get out of that. But they have, you know, pushing all these lanes. They have, for the most part, control over a lot of this vision, and they still have the gold lead. So all they really have to do is stay alive. This Lucian's still very, very strong, and I just think, you know, they stay together. Grinchy Goons still has a lot of trouble winning this.
Kerndog? Kerndog's
Burn dog again.
Oh, yes, ult out.
Gonna ult
Good
out
job.
safely.
Good job.
But I mean, that's the same mistake we've seen him make, though. I mean, at least he's learning. But if you're gonna go in and try and contest the vision of the jungle, don't do it yourself.
Yes.
As we see, Crosspoint, they're gonna stay out of vision. They're gonna group up, and they're gonna punish you for that.
Yeah, and like how you mentioned before, you know, this Lucian's doing pretty well. And if I think, hold him for a second here, or he's
They're
going
looking
for a
for
big
the
ulti. He's actually gonna miss the ulti here. Here comes Warhead, tries to TP out. Corby trying to go in. Huge Nautilus.
Oh, the Nautilus ults.
Fight comes in. Kite back, Crosspoint. You have to kite back. They're able to kite back, get the tower.
Kali's jumping in.
Kali should be able to get the Pantheon here, but here comes Gus. Oh, the Kali uses W.
In the
Good kill.
It looked like the fight was over with nothing for nothing, but Kali finding the E on the Pantheon, that's actually gonna be a really big kill here. And another fight that Crosspoint does not come out on top.
Yes, but they did get the tower at least here, Glacial, and all things considered, that's not the worst thing in the world, but they lost something else.
Running to Baron
priority.
now.
Yes.
They're gonna look for this punish. Crosspoint's all recalling. They're running over there. But
worst
at this
part
point,
is-
Grinchy's already on it.
And the worst
Gonna
part
be
is you
trying
got
to burn it
Pantheon
down.
ulti, right? No Pantheon ulti. If you do have Wukong TP, I doubt Wukong commits TP here, but it's a pretty slow Baron, no? I mean,
But they got Kaisa, they got Hecarim. They're actually burning it down.
my
Can
God.
Crosspoint even get back to it? It's just
W
gone.
us?
Oh,
For a second here. Are we gonna take
tries.
the fight here? Are we gonna take the fight? Yes or no? Wardy's thinking about it. You're trying to get the slow. Wardy's looking for a play. Does have Shyvana ulti?
Grinchy got what they needed. They're going to back off. I think that's the smart call to make here. And now, again, I mean, that's just another big throw from Crosspoint. And maybe some of the scaling now starting to come in effect for Grinchy Goons. Kaisa got her 2 evolutions. She got her AP item. Soon we're going to be seeing the Luden's Echo coming in. And that's just going to be a lot of damage coming in. She's going to be able to burn down the Shyvana, you know, the Wukong at range with the Ws. And then once that happens, they have the tools they need to commit to a fight that's favorable with the Hecarim, with the Nautilus. So they're still very much in this game. And of course the Baron, it might still be pushing into their base here, but that's a big gold swing, and maybe they'll be able to get something out of this as well.
Yeah, and I think something we mentioned earlier in this game is side of Grinchy Goons has great engage, right? And you have Baron right now, and you have this 5v5 fights, and
Caliente.
What are you doing? You're being caught out here. Caliente, he's gonna use his zonies here. He's gonna be caught out. More ulti comes in. Air ulti comes in.
Oh, the ulti.
He's still gonna be alive. He's one out of
alive.
one.
So much damage.
Guys, he's trying to fight back. He's trying to
but
fight.
Lucian.
He's trying to fight. Lucian, can
Mr.
he do this?
Posey, can they kill him?
Oh my God, he's still alive somehow.
Wukong
He's still
ultimate.
alive. Nautilus all plays in the backside. Oh my god, Wukong still fighting back here. This fight is super Kernok. Kernok comes back in here. He's trying to get the Wukong.
Himself.
He should be dead here. Arrow, he's looking for a play here. Pantheon? Pantheon. He's proxying. Is he gonna go first? No way. No
It's a
way.
2 for 2 so far. Oh, the
snipes!
spear! He just gets him. And
I
that's
have no
actually-
words. Pantheon, he's still looking here. He still wants to make the play here. The fight continues
Son of-
back in here. Arrow,
Do they have the damage?
I think they do here. Pantheon still going in. Kernok, he's almost dead. 1 Q away. Stunned.
Dog.
Auto, dead.
Balls.
That's Nautilus. He's gonna die as well. And somehow, someway, another Baron blown. Grinchy Goons wiped here from the side of Crosspoint. And that's Dragon.
Yeah, they're gonna be on Soul Point here, and it's just the same mistake. Walking into the unwarded jungle, getting caught out. Akali, she was able to put out a little bit of damage, but at the same time, you know, they just are able to kill her, and they're able to keep the people alive that they need to. Lucian out pumping out so much damage, even though he falls. He did what he needed to do, and we see Crosspoint just coming out on top here again, back in the lead with about 5k gold and looking at a Soul Point here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, Glacier. I have no idea what's going on in this game. Oh, this. Oh my. As I was saying, I have no idea who's winning this game. This is the second time one team's gotten Baron and's gotten wiped.
I mean, it's anyone's game at this
It-
point. It almost
that is
feels like
true.
it's whoever throws last, right?
It does feel in a way, yes, but it also feels like in situations when both teams are not executing team fights, there's one thing that one team has. Grinchy Goons has Ornn, right? They have Ornn, and you know at the very least they'll be scaling. They'll be matching up correctly, but I guess scaling doesn't particularly matter if you're getting caught out, no? So really, I have to say one thing, of all the players this game, if I had to pick an MVP, it has to be Gus. I think Gus has been playing pretty well, all things considered. So if I had to trust my carry bucket, if I had like $10 right now, I'm like, hey, I'm putting $10 on. I think I can trust Gus here to maybe carry these team fights, because all things concerned, he hasn't been caught out yet, at least to what I've seen. And he seems to be playing these team fights pretty decently, all things considered, as opposed to some of the other carries on both sides of the teams.
Yeah, Guster Posey, if there's anyone for Crosspoint, it's him.
Yes.
And now in this game, 4 items on the Lucian, very strong. Picking up the Maw now, that's going to give him a lot of safety against the Kaisa Burst, against the Akali Burst. You were commenting on the Ornn items. One item I do want to point out here is the Manamune on the Hecarim. And maybe at like 40 minutes into the game, this Manamune will finally be stacked.
My god. Oh, Gus, he's on 1v1 against Kernok here. Huge damage. He has to kite back to Nautilus. He's gonna die.
He just gets one shot. That is a mistake here from
Gosh,
Lucian.
First Ranger, but he's trying to go for a play. He's gonna get knocked up by Ornn, even Decoy. We're going hard on the Kaisaber. Wait, Pantheon's at half HP. He went in. It
Oh,
doesn't
but
matter,
here's
though.
Hecarim. He's on the rotation.
Hecarim's
Can he
not
turn the
ult,
fight
no.
around?
He's going
Oh,
in
there
deep.
goes Senna.
He's gonna try to get Pantheon. He has to be able to carry his fight. He's got ultras in the backside here. It's not 1v3. They should be
But
dead.
look at the Shyvana.
Shyvana can
Shyvana's so big. She's so massive.
Oh no, Warhead.
She
He's
gets
actually
2. She gets 3.
There's no way here. Weakside Refuge is dead, and somehow, some way, Crosspoint Origin, God knows how, they actually won the team fight. Pantheon, he ulted in half HP, it didn't matter. Huge stopwatch here from the side of Pantheon, and Crosspoint won the
Shyvana
team fight.
Pumps out so much damage, even without the Lucian, just as we were saying. They go hard on the 4v4, and even with Hecarim, you know, rotating into the fight, they still find the win. They're able to find the AoE damage with the Pantheon, with the Shyvana, and they're able to actually get the kills they need. And that's gonna be a big lead. They're gonna try and take both of these inhibitors. Lucian's
TP.
teleporting back in.
Like, we're trying to go for a play, but Pantheon, he's about to die before a TP even happens. He's so close to dying. Here comes Lucian. Lucian's
Just
trying to
entered
go
for the inhibitor.
My
But
God,
here's
he's trying to
Shyvana.
go. He's gonna die.
Guster
Weakside
Posey.
Lucian.
Lucian.
He's gonna pop off. That's 2. That's 1.
Oh, but Akali's here. That's just a kill.
Fight.
They defend it.
Yes, they do. Warhead's dead as well, and I guess it just defends it like that. I mean, the TP blown on Lucian, you do get 2 hit of at least. And Baron's
Crosspoint
about to
just
retry.
ran it down for the bot lane inhibitor. And that's with Baron coming up very soon here. Maybe that's not what you want to see. Just, you know, maybe hold on to the advantage. Go for the next Baron, but
One
that's-
moment here, Glacial. Kill tracker, we're at 48. No,
Yeah, I mean-
58. 58, excuse me. Oh my
50.
god.
yeah, this has been a very, very, for lack of a better term, action-packed game.
Yes, action-packed game indeed.
And, I mean, more and more items are just going to be coming out for Grinchy Goons, but Crosspoint, they still have the gold lead. They still have the soul to be looking at. It is the Cloud Soul, which might not be exactly what we want, but maybe on the Shyvana that can be very big. Kerndog going in.
Oh my god, Kernok, he's trying to make her play here. Arrow, he's gonna be caught out. No, he's not. Somehow, some way, Arrow lives. No, he's gonna die here.
Kerndog's just looking to make the plays.
King Collins
He's out.
as well. King Conte, good zonage here. Here comes weak
Or
side rep.
teleport.
Spike comes in. Orange ulti comes in. Huge play here. King Conte, he's trying to back off here. Panther, he's trying to kite back. They don't know if they're going to fight or not. He's trying to go for play. Here comes Guster Posty. This could be a moment to go in here. Nautilus
This is
he's trying to get hooked.
Nautilus hooking in.
Misses the hook. He's going to have a lot of
They
damage
have
here.
to back off here.
I think Crosspoint trying to take the fight here, but they want a proxy. They're eventually going to be pulled back here. Oh my god. Warhead, he's charging back in here. There is no arrow, mind you. But it looks like they still want to fight.
They don't have arrow, but they also really don't want to give up this Baron if they can.
But Kern
Kaisa though.
Oh,
the
huge
flash
ulti.
in.
Flash ulti instead.
Nautilus ult hook.
Yes, he is.
Rude.
Posty, this could be his
Can
moment
they
here.
kill him?
Probably takes a lot of damage. Gago almost dead here. Weak side rep is going in deep. He's taking a lot of damage here. A lot of tanking coming through.
There's not
Here comes the
enough
Hacker ulti.
follow-up.
Hacker ulti is huge. Here comes Gusty Posty. He tries to kite back here. Pampa trying to do as much damage as possible. Warhead, he's trying to kite back. Huge orange stun. But he's actually taking out.
Shyvana's going back in.
And there
What
goes-
is happening?
He's dead.
Akali jumps in. Akali's dead. I
I
is
don't know what
happening
just
in these
happened.
fights? It ends up as a 2 for 2, but I'd say that's an overall win for Crosspoint because they deny the Baron attempt. They
But
really don't
Glacial,
lose anything.
Glacial, I want to hold you in the base. Look at the base. If they stop these TPs here,
Oh my god, the towers, they're falling! That's the last tower! Their Nexus is open!
Oh my lord, and yes, Ultra's backs, but guess what happens?
And they're on the Baron.
They're on the Baron and the Dragon, because Lucian's running to a Dragon. The fiesta of this game continues here on the side of both squads. I mean, the gold lead's only 3k here. At this point, at a 36-minute game, 3k gold lead is negligible. Arrow, the Klutz setup pick.
Can they even do this, Baron?
They can, I think so.
It's very slow. It looks like they might actually just be backing up and running down to
My God,
Dragon.
but they got Osen, so
Soul's picked up. I mean, that's a really big punish. I think after the pick there on the Senna initially, they can back off and threaten Baron,
speaking of
but...
punish here, Gus.
Oh my gosh.
1v1
He's just too fast. The Cloud Rift in the Hecarim. You can't run away from that.
Oh my god.
Just gets one shot.
Oh lord.
I mean, Hecarim's
my.
full build now. I mean, everyone's nearing up on their last few items here.
Oh my god, they actually just ran him down like a dog. Holy. And Gus is dead. And I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's Caster Curse, because since I've complimented his gameplay, he's now died 3 times of the 2 he had most of the game, right? So I guess, sorry for cursing you, Gus, I guess. But the Baron was never taken, but the Cloud Soul was, so...
I mean, Hecarim's been getting a lot of these picks. He's just
Yes.
so fed in this game.
And I think
And
it's
he's really...
Okay.
Oh my damage.
God.
Kaisa.
But Arrow heals
Heals
kind of
back
insane.
up.
He's gonna
Ooh,
go
damn.
her. Arrow's just
She's
dead.
just one shot.
Oh my lord here. Warhead, I think he's trying to
Hecarim.
go in.
He's just scaled. He's become a monster in this game. 14-6. He might have, ran it down a few times, but he's like, I'm not going to give up that easily. We may be pushed to our base. We may have the open Nexus, but I can still carry this game.
Listen, Glacier. On the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And we see this right here. This Hecarim going for a play, but they're actually trying to make 2v4. Pantheon, he's gonna get out of the Nautilus something. I think
Shyvana,
he's
they're just taking the 2v4.
And he's just dead. 1v4 here for Shyvana. This would be a miraculous play by Ward. He's trying to fight the world, but the world wins.
But they get it. What is that? The double teleport from Lucian and the Wukong. They might have lost the fight topside, but the 2 teleports, the open Nexus. Grinchy Goons don't respect, and that's going to be game 1 for Crosspoint Origin.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Glacier. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna be honest. I'm literally standing up. I have to sit down real quick.
What better way
did I
to
just
end
witness?
that game? 67 kills. What better way to end it than the good old-fashioned NA backdoor? The 2 teleports coming in with the Wukong and the Lucian, able to finish off. The play with the Pantheon and Shyvana might have been going in 2v4, but, they got what they needed to be done. They couldn't. The Nexus is open. They just lose.
We were commenting, like, what is this 2v4 play? Where are we going? Meanwhile, on the bot side, the game just just ends.
They knew what they were doing. They were 2 steps ahead with that play.
God. Oh my. Listen, a deserved finish to literally an action-packed game. Like, honestly, if a game had ended anyway, a backdoor Nexus play would be the way to end it.
Absolutely.
Like that. Wow.
And that's just, that's also just devastating as well for, Grinchy Goons, who've been fighting so hard in this game, looking for these big plays, especially Kern Dog, so many kills on the Hecarim, but when your Nexus is open, it doesn't matter how many kills you have, all the enemy team needs to do is just go kill it, and that's exactly what they did here in this game.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I mean, I, for the record, in Pick'ems, did pick Crosspoint to win the series. I think they just have better mechanical players, which is why I picked them.
Hmm.
But credit's credit. You have to be honest here. Like, all jokes aside, credit what credit's due. The call of that play is very gutsy, and I have to give the side of Crosspoint Origin major credit for making that play, because I mean that is the gutsy play, guys. If that doesn't work, you just lose, right?
Hmm.
So
I think another thing that also just really important here for Crosspoint is even though they had a lot of these thrown team fights, maybe they give up just too much over to Grinchy Goons. They're still, ahead on the map. They still have vision. They still have the towers. They still have their waves pushing out. So, don't really get punished as hard for those mistakes. And as long as they can keep finding plays onto Grinchy Goons, they keep their advantage in the game. And, that's what lets them go in for that backdoor play.
yeah, that was an action-packed game 1. We're going to a short break here. Don't go anywhere. We have game 2 of Crosspoint Origin versus Grinchy Goons.
It's going to be a banger.
Welcome back here to Game 2 of Crosspoint versus Grinchy Goons. I like to think a well-deserved break for me and Glacial, because oh boy, that action-packed game one.
Is that
was
only
just-
game one?
That was
Nah.
game 1. It is.
That felt out. I feel like that was like enough for like maybe like 4 games or 3 games or something like that. But
you know the CCS meme of like asleep by 10 p.m. Yeah, maybe we'll be asleep by like 10 PST. Because oh my
Yeah.
god, like Jesus Lord.
I mean, if
What a
we're
game.
just in for another 2, 40-minute long 70 kills bloodbath, then yeah, we're probably gonna be here for a while. So the bans are starting out here. We're gonna see the Rengar banned away from Kern Dog, and then the Gangplank banned back by Grinchy Goons.
Yeah, and I mean, what are you looking here from the side of Grinchy Goons to change up? You think anything was wrong with their draft, or you think it was more of an execution thing?
I mean, I think their draft was, even though it was pretty easy to execute, Crosspoint, they did have that mid advantage. They did have the early top advantage. But in reality, I think as long as, Grinchy Goons just plays together that game, they have an advantage. And it looks like another first pick Senna.
Yeah, this
Actually,
is something
seems
that
to be coming out
Arrow
here.
is very comfortable on, it seems. He plays it quite a bit. I think the Senna overall was fairly okay. I don't really think it was anything that really is priority or side Grinchy Goons should be banning. But I think from the way Crosspoint want to play this game, and kind of the styles you want to do, they, for whatever reason, do like having their AD carry. And speaking of AD carry, they're actually going to put Altruism on Ezreal duty, which, no disrespect to him, I think that is somewhat appropriate based on last game's results. It seemed that he was not quite comfortable, especially in the very aggressive, hyper-engaged dive focus of Crosspoint Gaming. Give him Ezreal, give him the free flash, basically, and more or less. Maybe expect to see another Nautilus on Gravido, or if they want to play it really safe, a Braum.
I mean, this is really interesting. A Janna coming out here too,
Janna,
so
oh
they're
my
just going
God.
full safety on the bot lane. With every ADC available in the game, I don't think Ezreal's the first one I'd go to. Maybe even I'd value the Zarya a little bit more because you have the same mobility, also a little bit of range, and of course you have the huge team fighting presence. Ezreal can be very hard to pilot sometimes, especially when you get caught out. Having the extra flash doesn't matter when at the end of the day you're still going to be an AD carry. So they're going to pair it with the Janna here. Extra safety and a Ziggs.
I mean, we'll continue the story of Crosspoint Origin not picking real AD carries, quote unquote. I should say real marksmen. They're gonna put the Ziggs in. I really do love Ziggs. I think Ziggs has been strong for quite a bit of patches, not just patches, maybe seasons, to be honest.
This is a CCS staple right here.
It really is.
Love picking their Ziggs.
It really does. I mean, it seems that a lot of the no disrespect, okay, AD carries, I guess I would call them, love picking that Ziggs. They love showcasing.
Darius blind
oh my
pick.
god, Darius blind pick. Wow.
He's feeling himself after last game. Might have been 40 minutes, but the solo lanes of Crosspoint were actually, taking big advantages early, and it seems like they're just doubling down on that. The Ziggs Senna bot lane, play safe, play to farm, let the solo lanes do the work.
Yeah, and I think we saw it both from Roebuck and Guster Posey, but especially from Roebuck. He solo killed the mid laner 2 times. King Calente, I'm very curious to see what he gets this game, because as a Kali, he wasn't exactly the most desirable, I'd say, pick, per se.
Yeah,
I don't think
Ornn coming out here, so just like another safe pick. Pretty interesting, because, I mean, you have a bot lane that's going to be kind of hard to play towards. They're just going to be looking to play safe, use the Janna, disengage, just farm up. Ornn as well, not exactly someone who's known for their, amazing carry potential. I mean, of course, Ornn does have the burst damage, but mostly just pick it to be safe and pick it to scale. So I think from Grinchy Goons, we're going to have to see some really hard carry picks coming out here for the jungle and the mid this game.
Yeah, I'm really curious from the side of Grinchy Goons, because, right, let's be honest. Crosspoint, no disrespect to you, they're probably out of playoffs, right? They have to basically go undefeated the next 3 weeks, I would say. And
I think it's still out of their control.
Yeah,
well,
they essentially have to go 6-0 and pray, right? That's their goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'll give them this credit. They're going for it. Grinchy Goons, they're almost like they're playing like they're afraid. Like they know that if they lose, they're out. I want to see some proactivity.
Syndra mid lane, a very strong laner, a lot of burst damage coming out, and can be a really potent champion in the right hands. After last game, it's definitely going to be a different look from the Akali, because we're going from a champion that's a lot weaker for the early stages. You just want to level up, get those rums out. Syndra, a very dominant laner, want to look for those solo kills, want to look for those plays, get the pressure, and then work with the jungler.
Yeah, and I mean, right now it's an Echo pick here, and I'm gonna be clear. Remember last game we saw the Pantheon Lucian? They swapped it before. I would not be surprised if they do some swaps again. And like Sean is the other picks. Is that Echo Jungle event from the side of Crosspoint?
Yeah, it might be Echo Jungle here for Warhead.
Mhm.
And that's an Action pick, which is actually can be pretty safe in the mid lane. Syndra with a lot of gank setup here. I have to imagine they're picking a big carry for Kerndog with this last pick. They're gonna need it after showing last game. They really, I mean, he's the key player that they're gonna have to enable if they want to take this game.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Kerndog, ever since he got out of the Grinchy Goons lineup, I mean, he was the reason he won. Oh, I do actually kind of like that Nocturne pick here. I just wish they kind of comboed it with maybe a more aggressive. I mean, I actually felt like they maybe, I mean, you know, Altruism maybe just doesn't feel comfortable in the Kai'Sa. I actually feel like they maybe could have comboed it with a Kai'Sa or something more engaged, dive heavy, because they do have the Ornal, right? They do have Nocturne. I always say Nocturne is especially strong in lower elos. Because for whatever reason, when Nocturnal comes out, it seems like anyone under D4, their brain turns off and they get afraid. It's like almost like their room
just
turns
run away.
out, right?
Yep,
They're
yep,
just running
run
away.
Yep,
They look
exactly.
left, they look right, and they're like, "Is my room dark? Like I'm afraid, right? Like it's like no, it's okay. Stick together, be safe. You know, don't be chaotic." So we'll see.
I have to say, Nocturne's not the first champion I'd be expecting because, you know, the theme we have going on with the Grinchy Goose comp, they have a lot of disengage, they have a lot of peel, a lot of way to kite. Whereas, you know, Crosspoint, I mean, they have the Ziggs bot lane, so they have some poke damage. They have Darius, who really just wants to get in the middle of things. I think they responded to Darius very well here, with those picks. So he might have a little bit of trouble, and then the Echo as well. So if they can just keep Darius, keep Echo off of their carries, off of the Ezreal, off of the Syndra, they can have a lot of, you know, good pressure in these team fights, and they can shut Crosspoint down.
Yeah, and I think one of the things I do want to say here specifically from the side of Grinchy Goons as well is true they do have a lot of disengage, but Nocturne theoretically could be disengage. I mean, ideally you don't want to really necessarily you don't really want to pick Nocturne just purely for disengage, but when Crosspoint starts a team fight, right, Nocturne can just press alt. He doesn't actually have to use his quote-unquote teleport, I guess, dive ability, right? He can just press ultimate and just turn the knight back, have Grinchy Goons reset. Also makes the fight chaotic. Now, let's be clear, Glacial. One thing we can say about these teams, they like to fight.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Imagine a fight when you can't see. I think Grinchy Goons is like, hey, they like to fight. We like to fight. They like to get picked off. We like to get picked off. Let's just make this game harder, no?
Yeah, and of course you could also use the Nocturne. It's a very strong 2v2 with Syndra, and then once you get to the later part of the games, maybe you don't have to go diving on the back line. Maybe you can just use them, wait for, you know, maybe the Darius or the Echo to step a little bit too far forward, and just blow them up with the Syndra, the Nocturne, and the Ezreal, and, you know, play the fight front to back that way.
Yeah.
So we're going to see the Action is, in fact, going top against the Ornn with actually a Darius jungle pick. So very, very interesting. Warhead.
I do want to cut you off slightly. They do have until 20 seconds to swap. So maybe they're doing some mind tricks?
Maybe. But, I mean, last game we saw Warhead on the Shyvana with lethal tempo and exhaust. Darius, he's not traditionally known as a jungler.
True.
I'll tell you this. He has a very, very fast clear, and he has very strong dueling.
And if there's any team that's going to pull off Darius jungle, it would be Crosspoint.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like his style of champion. He got the Trundle band away. He got the Shyvana band away. And, you know, that's what he's going to be going with. You know, Akshan and Echo, they don't have the best gank setup, so I'll be interested to see what Darius actually goes for early game, if he's just going to be going for these invades on the Nocturne, or maybe look for, you know, dives, maybe top lane or bot lane, if you can get behind the tower there and just close them in. Leave him nowhere to run. He has a lot of damage.
I could see the Darius, you know, as you said, very fast clear, potentially just pushing the tempo and just basically trying to fight these 1v1s with Kerndog, right? I mean, Nocturne should be losing these 1v1s early in the jungle, if I'm correct. Oh,
okay.
Oh,
wait. They're doing some trading.
We'll just give it 20 seconds now.
All right.
You know they've read the rule book. You can tell because they're just swapping and swapping and swapping. Oh my.
If we see any trades after 20 seconds, that's a fun.
That's, yeah. Oh!
Okay, Darius back in the jungle. Yeah,
Darius back in the jungle, and that's what it is. So, Darius jungle right here. I think we're going to maybe see him as Darius jungle. Very fast clears, try to get these early scuttles. Basically tell Kerndog, hey, you're going to farm those 6. I'll farm the 6. If you try to do anything crazy, we're just going to try to invade. I mean, would you expect, you know, the side of Crosspoint Origin here, Glacier will have priority on most of these lines?
I do think that Crosspoint should have a priority in the top lane. It's another AD carry into Ornn matchup. You know, weak side refugee. you know, that name's pretty apt this series. I'd say so far.
True.
You know, being paired against the 80 carries, it's gonna be. He did pretty well, almost matching Lucian in farm last game. Did end up dying solo once with the flash up, but so they should have the push in the top lane. Mid lane, Echo does struggle into Syndra a bit. Syndra is just really, really strong with the orbs, is able to, you know, not only farm, but just has so much damage at range. Echo should have a little bit of trouble early. So we'll see how they choose to enable him and get him moving around the map this game.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing I'll say though, and kind of last before going to intermission, if anything from last game shows to this game, there's one thing that these teams like to do, like to fight. And Darius, of any character you can think of, is a character that loves to just fight these like bruiser, man-fighty, almost chaotic, unorganized style of fighting.
Yeah, Akshan roaming.
Akshan as well. If Warhead or Akshan get a kill or two, it just snowballs like crazy.
Yeah, Echo, his identity, a lot of, you know, he's become a jungler recently, but his identity traditionally, shove and roam. Akshan, shove and roam. And Darius, he wants to fight, so
yeah.
We're probably going to be seeing them team up in this game, try to punish Grinchy Goons, and maybe if they play as a team, they'll be able to pull out a 2-0 here over the Grinchy Goons.
Yeah, and we're over a short break. Don't go anywhere. It's game 2 of Crosspoint Urgent versus Grinchy Goons. Welcome back here to the CCS. We are live here with Crosspoint Gaming versus Grinchy Goons. Glacier, are you ready for another banger?
I don't know if I am after last game. Who even knows what's gonna happen this game? If I'm expecting one thing, it's gonna be a lot of action.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Action definitely will be stuff you will be seeing.
Yeah, in the top lane here, especially with the Ignite.
Yes. And you know what else we're seeing? Glacial? The wonderful LCS bug. that even happens in professional League of
Oh
Legends.
boy,
So,
what a
know-
lovely spectator.
you know what we
spectator
say is the
feature.
CCS is a
Feature.
development of NA players. No, and
Mhm.
what would be more like development than having NA production at CCS? So thank you, Riot Games,
Absolutely.
our Lord and Savior, small indie company by the way, for giving
There's
us
some
wonderful-
shenanigans going on here at level 1. So we saw some
I-
trading in the ball lane. I don't even know what they're doing. I
I-
guess they're proccing their first strike, proccing their spell.
I guess they're procking the first strike, if you want to call it that. But nothing
Trading
happens.
some gold.
Just trading some gold, just handshaking some gold, getting, it's like doing your early workout, you're getting the reps in.
Jenna's moving up here to the top side.
I am.
What?
Gravio?
Is she gonna? Okay.
Oh, she's
Doesn't
gonna-
quite walk in. Actually
Okay.
drops the ward.
Okay, interesting. I guess he just asked her to ward in. We begin the fight. Like here's the game, excuse me. So,
At least-
Glacial, what is the lane you're looking here for all the lanes to kind of focus on?
Probably mid lane. If I've seen one thing, it's a pretty mid jungle oriented series so far. Being able to move these players around and just get the numbers advantage. That's really what's getting these teams the wins here.
Yeah, and so far a lot of trading already level 1 here. They're already trying to fight here. Here comes Nocturne. Ranger and Arrow have to
Nocturne's
be
here,
careful.
but they have him warded, so they're probably just gonna back off.
Yeah, and I mean, already these teams, they're trying to go for
Ooh.
engaging Kerndog. Kerndog, he's going in. It's already a fight
Senna's
immediately.
just
Kerndog's going
stepping
on
up
Arrow.
too far, the
Arrow's
flash!
dead. No, she flashes.
he
The
dead?
guy comes in. Arrow
Oh
should
my
be fine here. Gravio is not going to get her, and Altruism misses the Q, and meanwhile in the mid lane, Guster Pussy takes huge damage here from Kid Calente, and within
Yeah,
2
but-
minutes, already a lot of damage.
Yeah, we saw Janna burn the flash ignite to try and get Senna, but Senna's gonna be able to flash out there, so just trading summoner spells on the support. That's actually gonna put Nocturne at a pretty distinct disadvantage, because what we see here is Darius, he grabbed the red buff, he grabbed the Raptor camp, and Nocturne, he wasn't able to get anything back. He's still only at 4 CS, and Darius is gonna get his whole jungle.
Rollback, he's trying to go on weak side here. Good damage, huge damage on weak side. He's gonna take almost half his HP, but hey, those minion waves doing a lot of damage on rollback as well. So overall, not a terrible trade here for the Ornn, but he has to be careful. He has to respect
We're just
Akshan.
has to get back under tower, just heal up farm. Akshan, a really big lane bully in the top lane. So it's just something you have to be careful of.
Yes, and I mean, I think overall here, from the side of Crosspoint Origin, they love the fact there's Darius. Oh my god, meanwhile, mid lane, King Calente's takes a lot of damage to Guster Posey. Now, I want to mention that Guster Posey is not going to top side. But you know who's going bot side? Kerndog. They're looking for a play here. Arrow has
Kerndog
to be
again.
careful. He doesn't
They're
have
gonna
flash.
try and punish the flash, yeah.
Doesn't have flash.
Senna's
Arrow
out of
trying to
mana.
attack
If they can get
Arrow.
the CC down,
He's just
they're
running.
actually going on the
Ranger.
Ziggs.
Well, here comes Warhead.
Oh, he's
oh
Darius.
god, run away. Here comes
flash, the grab!
Huge ball.
Janna's just dead, first blood.
Oh my god, here.
Crazy play.
Lord. Here comes the raid boss Glacial, and he just runs him down.
That's the Darius jungle. The flash, apprehend on 2.
Oh, it's elite. It's only 5 minutes, but it's elite Glacial. You can tell him that.
And Darius jungle pulling ahead to a pretty big lead over
Yes.
Nocturne. He's cleared only 3 camps. He didn't have any of his jungle to take top side, so he just goes
And-
back for a bot side play. But
And they're asking
Darius
Syndra to
able
come
to
up
match
here, but
him.
here comes Arrow as well, and he has to be very careful here. I think they're just going to give it. They're going to be able to secure the Kerndog. But one thing I like that you mentioned is Warhead's really ahead, but who did the kill go to? It went to the Ziggs, and that feels really good here from the side of Crosspoint Origin. You want the Ziggs to be able to survive laning phase and have a good start, because this tower push will be insane. And one thing we mentioned is the amount of times these teams were able to get wiped last game, for better or for worse. If Grinchy Goons gets wiped, the tower push inside of Ziggs would be massive. So Crosspoint Origin will have a huge advantage to get these towers if a mistake happens with Grinchy Goons.
Yeah, and here's the thing with Ziggs. Once you get that tier, once you get that lost chapter, I mean, the lane interaction basically goes out the window. Ziggs is just going to be able to one-shot the waves, push up the tower, and give a lot of priority over to the Darius to try and continue to invade and punish this Nocturne. The picks here from Grinchy Goons, they have the Nocturne, but they're not going to be able to roam down as much
Gravio?
and try to punish the
Gravio?
trading from the
Janna?
Ziggs.
Jenna? Oh my Ultra is just eating Qs like for breakfast, but huge
Oh, but
knock.
Senna is just walking up too far.
Another
Ignite's down.
ignite. Arrow's gonna live. Yeah, second time. Ooh,
Ooh.
for a second. Yeah, Arrow. He likes to play with fire. You can definitely save that for him. He's been close to dying a lot of times. I think last game only died like 3 or 4 times too. So he's a character that definitely pushes the limits.
Yeah,
And
it's
I mean, credit to him.
using his health bar to the fullest. He's
Yes.
stepping up in these 1v2 trades, which look a little bit bad at first, but Senna does have the healing. She is getting the stack. She has the fleet footwork as well, so she's able to survive and sustain up off these trades, and give some space to the Ziggs to just clear out these waves here that they're shoving in.
Yes, and I mean overall, I think we have to give credit here on the side of Crosspoint Origin. They've already up to a 5k gold lead, or 6k gold lead, excuse me. And really, it's a lot of it's just this Darius, right? I mean, this Darius quite ahead. And
6K?
then Wava, yeah, 6. Oh my god. Oh, that's 6. 500.
600. Yeah,
Yeah, 600. 6k potential, you know.
yes.
Of course. But
This is
moving
where
forward,
they.
they have him right where you want him, right? But Gravio,
But
he's looking for
Syndra's
play
roaming.
Janna. It's just,
They're not
I think
gonna
this is
look
the
for the
third time here that Grinchy Goons have tried to go for these roams, and Ranger and Arrow just keep kiting away. And I mean, I don't really know here. I think from Grinchy Goons, they're almost throwing away these advantages, both getting Kerndog and the Syndra here to go down to the bot side multiple times. It's not really getting anything.
I mean, that's the problem here. They're picking an Ezreal Jenna bot lane. They're playing into Ziggs Senna. You just leave that lane alone. I mean, it's going to be very hard to gank either of these lanes. Oh, and here we got engaged in the top lane.
Yes, and
The
I mean,
ulti.
huge damage here. He's just gonna be dead.
Oh,
And-
he didn't hold
he
it long enough.
lives. What?
We
There's
have
a pause.
mid lane disconnect here, so we got a little bit of time to talk about what's going on in this game here.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and
we
I mean-
have...
Go on, sorry, Golish.
Yeah, I mean, what I was trying to get at before that almost kill in the top lane is Ezreal Janna. They keep trying to go towards this lane, but it's just so hard for them to start fights. They don't have any CC, they don't have any lockdown. The best they can do is to slow in the tornado on Janna, but she has to walk all the way up. And, you know, Ziggs and Senna has the disengage, Ziggs has the disengage. They have ways to get out, they have ways to heal, and they're absorbing a lot of pressure here from the mid jungle of Grinchy Goons. And that's exactly what they want to be doing in this early game.
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing I have to say here from the side of Crosspoint Origin is, realistically, as you said, this Darius, he's getting quite ahead now, right? And this Echo, who's down actually, I think, at 1.8 CS, that Syndra roam, he's now up in CS by 2. So, I mean, I assume the Syndra will eventually come back, but really, as you mentioned earlier, Echo does not have a fun time against Syndra, especially early, due to the range advantage and damage. But if this Echo can survive lane, it's going to be very good here for side of Crosspoint.
I mean, we saw some good Syndra trades early. She's using the summon area and the Qs to her advantage, just dealing a lot of damage to Echo. But Echo is just, you know, he's sitting there. He's fine, chugging corrupting potions, just clearing the waves, getting the CS he can. Now that he's made it to level 6, once he gets his recall off, he's going to start buying up on the items. And he's going to be a lot stronger and feel a lot better into this Syndra.
Yeah.
Once he gets the ultimate, he can nullify basically any chance of, you know, getting solo killed here by the Syndra. So once he does that, he should be able to just shove, move around the map, and then make plays with the Darius, make plays with the Akshan, and then go from there.
And Glacial, looking at Grinchy Goons right now in the situation, they're only down 800 gold, but obviously you don't really want to be down in the situation you're in, especially with the solo lanes they have, specifically mid lane. What do you think Grinchy Goons just need to get here to get back in this game?
I'd say just stop trying to go bot lane, maybe just farm up a little bit. You really have to play through the Syndra in this game. It's just going to be so hard to look for early plays with the Orange, so hard to look for early plays with the Ezreal Janna. And if they don't have to make any plays, that's fine, because they do have a somewhat easy to execute team fight. If they can get to the later stages of the game, even just keep the Darius, keep the Echo from hitting the backline carries, then they should have a leg up in these team fights. They just have to absorb the pressure from the Echo, the Akshan, the Darius early, and, you know, stop throwing away all the time and gold by trying to make plays towards the spot side, and they should still be fine in this game.
Yeah, and I mean, currently we're about to go halfway through our pause time. That's 4 minutes done. Grinchy Goons still has 6 minutes. But I'm going to do a slight update here. A bit of a, I guess, intermission update. Sources have told me that Team Defrom took a game off of Goldfish Gaming. So, potentially TDR ending Goldfish Gaming's perfect record. Implications for Thursday is obviously huge, especially with how tight the Thursday standings are. So, that should be interesting. And on the side of Crosspoint and Grinchy, obviously, if Crosspoint can secure his game 2, it almost more or less secures Grinchy's elimination from playoffs. Oh, and reconnection.
Mid laner's going to get
Delante.
back here. It's
Yeah.
very interesting to hear about the TDR versus Goldfish game. I know that TDR's mid laner has been very apt talking about, you know, they have improved a lot. They were confident that they would be the team to take down Goldfish Gaming, so we'll see how that series ends up here. Now that
Yeah, and
Syndra's
I
back in
mean-
the game, we should be getting started any second now.
100%. And I mean, one thing for Goldfish, they did look particularly weak, I think, last week against Horizon. Obviously, people do have Horizon second best team. But if they do lose to TDR, then all of a sudden Thursday is wide open. And I mean, I could definitely see. Oh, well. Let's see. He's
Those
just
classic
left now.
internet issues.
Is that,
It is what it
that's
is.
that Riot issues right there. And still 5 minutes remaining for the pause time from Grinchy Goons. But yeah, it would be huge if TDR, especially if they take down Goldfish 2-0. Mass indicate for standings, because if you looked at the Thursday standings, Glacial, it is a cluster. A
Yeah,
cluster
I mean,
in the
you
middle.
got Grinchy, or Goldfish Gaming, mind you, comfortably sitting at the top of the standings. Mossy, I know, has been, big of talking about how just big the gap is. It looks like we're back here in the game. Back
Yes,
to it.
and
Oh, Nocturne's actually just doing the drag. He's just gonna flash out of the pit. He can't be there by himself.
oh my,
Can they get
oh
the
my
dra-
god, the Ziggs
the
WQ!
The
Oh!
damage coming out with the Ziggs.
And they gave up
huge.
Dragon. They just gave up Dragon. And Syndra left the game.
We have
And
some
she's back in
problems.
the game.
And it looks like we might be looking at another pause.
I think it's a stream issue more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll
pauses due to stream issues. Oh, it's gonna hit. Sorry to interrupt you. Pauses due to stream issues. It's very common. Small company, as you said, Riot Games. Only a couple producers. So yeah, whenever a pause happens in a spectated match, the climb, it takes a second to lag back up. Like the brain lag, obviously.
Yeah, that's a bit of I'd say a macro blunder from Grinchy Goons. We had Nocturne trying to solo the Drake, but he just didn't have the pressure he needed to from the mid and the bot lane to assist him with it.
I think
And
they're trying to make a
Crosspoint
play on this Echo, but Echo has ulti here heavily.
they're just losing plays of bot lane. I mean,
Yeah.
things are crumbling pretty fast for Grinchy Goons.
Yes. And the worst part is these kills are on Ziggs. So, the Ziggs, if you've ever seen a Fed Ziggs before Ziggs Clash, which you probably have, those bombs are doing hella damage if you get an early lead.
Yeah, and into Ezreal, who just doesn't really have any ways to sustain. Normally, he's built around having that range advantage, but Ziggs can match it, and he can beat him at the range game. So Ezreal, not always the best champion to pick into Ziggs, and of course Janna. I mean, what are you going to peel from this Crosspoint bot lane? I mean, you're just going to be eating bombs. You can shield some of them, but now that Ziggs has this lead, it's going to be a lot harder for them to really be able to contest the lane.
100% here. I want to mention, on the solo lanes, we were obviously worried about the Syndra Echo solo lane. It's gone pretty fine for Guster Procy. And on the top side, it's basically dead even. I mean, obviously, weak side Refuge, living up his name in the weak side. But he doesn't really do anything against Exxon, and Exxon's more or less scaling up. And what is my man Warhead doing of his pressure? His priorities given by his lanes? He's getting a Rift Herald. This is going to be pretty huge here. Bot side already doing well. I mean, yes, you're down 20 CS, but the 2 kills on the side of Ziggs, it's more or less even gold. And oh my god, Gravity's been picked off again. No, he's going to be able to back off here. Good tornado. Somehow hits. Very close here. Oh, very aggressive here by Ward. He's trying to go for a play here on Gravo. Here comes the Nocturne ulti. He's on the Darius. He's gonna flash away. Echo, he's trying to fight back here. Ulti comes in, should be fine here. Sky back here on the side of Crosspoint. Yes, they do. Guster does not have ulti. Huge! Oh my god, huge play from Arrow here to actually save Echo using ulti. Great job here from the side of the support of Crosspoint Gaming. And yeah, overall here, besides that, they're gonna push in the mid lane here, but credit when credit's due here from the side of Arrow. Great use of the Senna ulti. And Guster looks like he's trying to make a play. He's trying to go on Kurno gets engaged on. But Guster he's still gonna be fine here, and he's gonna actually pull it back in. All of a sudden, they have Rift Herald as well, and Arrow doing a huge damage here on this Janna. Janna taking a lot of damage. Q up.
Well,
damage
that's gonna be a lot.
Warhead, he's
And
trying to go in on
Darius
the
getting into the mix of it.
1v1 here. Warhead on the Kurno. Huge ulti comes in. He's actually getting stolen somehow.
Darius
Live.
rolls.
Echo did
That's
have
the
to use
first
ulti to go
kill
in.
for Grinchy Goons.
Altruism, is he gonna snipe Echo? I don't know if he hit him or not. It does not matter. Echo does not die, how about? But kill is a kill here. 4-1 for Crosspoint Origin. They do still have the Rift Herald as well. More or less, an Arrow's doing a lot of damage. Oh my god, Altruism's gonna hit again. The Q comes in. Look at his damage. That's half of Ezreal's HP bar. Excuse me. And they're gonna push his tower in. If one more play gets taken, Ranger actually gets his tower in. Ezreal, you have to be careful here, buddy. I mean, ult on Ziggs still exists, so you could definitely see.
Just massive pressure from the Ziggs. He has the tier, he has the Lost chapter. Now this is where he starts being really strong. I mean, Ezreal can't even really play the game anymore. And Nocturne's going to be looking towards the bot side, but without the ulti, they're pretty safe. I mean, they could just go for this.
Yes,
Janna
Janna
can
shield.
the towers as much as she wants, but, you know, that's
Doesn't
not
matter.
too much.
She actually made dead. She's dead.
just dead.
She's dead. She's just dead.
Ezreal's trying to trade.
Ooh, Ezreal goes super aggressive. He gets a return code to support for support. But holy god damn, that damage here from the side of Ziggs. It's becoming oppressive here on Altruism. Can't count. He's going for a solo kill on Guster Procy. You just can't kill him as long as he's ulti. So, ulti's still not up, however, for Echo, so potentially for a kill. And meanwhile, top side here, weak side Refuge. You're trying to hit a 1v1 here onto Robok. Robok, huge damage. Half of Orange ult. And there should be tower here from the side of Crosspoint Origin.
I mean, this Ziggs bot lane is just working beautifully for Crosspoint. And, you know, Grinchy Goons, they haven't really been able to get anything done yet. Not that they really needed to, but maybe they're just giving up more than they wanted to Crosspoint. The Darius jungle, he's been farming.
He's maybe not off to as much of a lead as you might expect, but he's still able to, get the Dragon, get the Rift Herald, and get the things he needs. And here we have another engage on the bot lane.
Huge W by Ekovo to save the fight. Gravel, he's already caught out again. He's just dead. This channel, what are you doing? Uses the ulti. He's going to actually flash away, and he actually does live, but great use from Ziggs there. I want to highlight the satchel play by Ziggs. Nocturne goes in. Kerndog trying to get a pick off on the Ranger 24. Does not matter, however, huge satchel play from the Ziggs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this Janna, you're not on Nautilus. You'll die a lot faster.
Oh! Speaking of dying,
just like
sniper!
that. Just recalls, gets sniped. I mean, they're just picking him up. They're just, shooting him down. It's like we're playing Duck Hunt or something here with the Janna. She's just getting blown up by the Crosspoint bot lane.
We were kind of, we're kind of a little bit doubting this, first pick Senna here from side Crosspoint, but credit do. Arrow's been pretty proficient on this setup, and I have to be honest here. From the side Crosspoint Origin, this is quite a lot cleaner from last game, and it looks like they're just going to kill Cinder. Cinder should be dead here. Gustavus, he's going to go in aggressively. She should be able to kite back. Janna is here. And
Janna able to
stop
stop the advance. Save a little bit, but
that's
another...
Fine arrow, so much damage.
Just going forward.
There's no Kerndog ulti here. You be careful about that. They have Rift Herald. Oh, Roebuck, he's going in play here. He's on Kerndog. Kerndog trying to 1v1 Roebuck, but he's actually going to lose this battle. He has to be careful. Here comes the dash.
Nocturne is just down so far.
Kerndog almost had flashes away. Here comes Ornn. Gets a double ult by Ornn.
The Ornn ult cancels the Action ult and saves Nocturne.
Huge play here by Ornn. Yes, but all is going to prevent the inevitable because so much damage, so much pressure from Crosspoint Origin. Mid lane tower taking the half HP as well, and Roebuck could be potentially caught up here. Oh, Roebuck. He's actually going Janna. Huge play, Roebuck.
He might be able to turn it.
Maybe,
the jump gets
misplaced.
canceled.
Grubba should be dead. No, Morado. He
gets
it. He's on Ornn now. It's a 1v1 here. Roebuck, can you outplay this?
Him?
I don't think he can. It's a 1v2. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Echo gives you He's dead again. Meanwhile, play. Ornn going to get the ult here, but mid lane is secured. And overall, another good trade from inside Crosspoint Origin.
Action might fall, but Crosspoint get exactly what they want. Nocturne trying to walk into his jungle, they just get all the people in there. They force him to flash out. Even though Action might die, they get the mid tower. They're getting Ziggs where he needs to be. And now I have to expect they're going to be rotating up to top lane, break down this last turret, and just keep Grinchy Goons without options. I mean, we saw this last game. They used these strong lanes to keep the lanes shoved in, keep advantage on the map, and give Grinchy Goons no way back into the game.
Yeah, and I mean, I think one thing different from last game is we're not seeing Crosspoint Origin, no disrespect, throw it as hard as they did last game, right? They got the early advantage, and they kind of more or less threw a couple team fights with Grinchy Goons. They got him back in the game. But this game, they've won in lane. They're kind of basically, showing off that they're better players right now and taking this early advantage. And in 3 minutes, we'll see the Infernal Drake. And if the side of Grinchy comes to the inside Crosspoint Origin, hold him for a second here. Roebuck's going super crazy. Kerndog, you have to be careful. It's a lot of damage in Akshan. He actually made that.
Akshan just jumps in 1 versus 3.
What are you doing?
He just gets blown up with the Ziggs.
Oh my god. A bit trolling here from the side of Roebuck, but Ranger now 4-0 on the Ziggs, and Altruism has to be careful here.
He doesn't have the Pantheon shield that he did last game. Jumping into that many people, he does get punished, but they still trade a kill on the Nocturne. And Ziggs just keeps picking up kills.
Yeah, and I mean, Roebuck, excuse me, showing off his kind of forte, for better or for worse, he is not afraid. And he definitely was not afraid in that play, I'll give him that, but ends up dying really for no reason, and Galante misses the stun here on Arrow, and Arrow really wants this control ward. He is actually going to get it though, and Guster Posey comes in as well, and Altruism, oh my god, Gravio, Gus, he's trying to go in aggressive, he should be fine, he does have the Echo ult,
Yeah, so, I mean, this is probably the most Chad Senna I've seen in a while. This guy's, he's just up in people's faces, hitting them. It's a Syndra. Maybe Syndra gets in our range. Oh my god,
huge stop on from Altruism, Arrow, living up his name. Echo goes in aggressively, Guster Posey, what are you doing? Oh my god, huge sash, stop. He's actually, is he going to live here?
Nope,
no, he's not. And this is
throw here. See,
throw?
He's trying to go for the 1v5 here. Warhead, be careful. Don't be like the rest of your team here. Just kite away. Stun does not hit as well. They're trying to chase him down. Warhead, he's trying to go back. He's actually going to let the fight here. It's a 1v5. He does not get the knock. He's just going to die. Crosspoint Origin. Just as was complimented about not the throw, they just die. For really no reason here. Four people dead on side Crosspoint Origin.
When you have the Ziggs this ahead, you want to play a more controlled, macro-heavy game because it's just so easy for him to push in the waves, break down the tower. The Senna's dead here.
But there's TP on Ranger. There's TP on Ranger. I think they're going for a play here. Could I potentially see now a throw by Grinchy Goons? Guster Posey, he's trying to 1v4 here. Ziggs ulti is
No
available.
ult.
He's gonna go on Nocturne. He's trying to 1v3. He may have ulti, but the huge Ziggs ulti comes in. Huge damage inside. They're all so low from the side of Grinchy Goons. And Guster Posey, if he can chase him off. 1 minute to Drake right now. We could potentially see him inside of Crosspoint or try to chase him off. Good tornado from Janna. And while this is all going on, Roebuck is just pushing top lane down.
Yeah, so, I mean, they were able to find a really big punish mid lane. I mean, that's the thing with the Ziggs. Like, you really don't want to look for these scrappy fights as much. But, you know, Akshan, Echo, they're getting eager to go for these plays. And, you know, once they get on top of Ziggs, I mean, that's, you know, lights out for him. So, Grinchy Goons get what they need out of that fight. And maybe they have a way back into this game now.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing I will mention, Dragon's up in 20 seconds, and we already see the side of Crosspoint Origin get in position. I mean, if they get this for Drake, it will be Infernal. It will be Soul Point for them, and if they get Infernal, so that will be huge. From the side. Oh my god, Janna getting picked off again. Nope, Tornado being used. I gotta give credit to these supports. I guess for better or for worse, definitely quote-unquote shotting it up, but a lot of times it seems that there's a fine line between stupidity and bravery, and they're on the wrong line in it sometimes. But Warhead trying to kite back here. You know, Grinchy Goons understands that they can't let Crosspoint get this dragon.
There's this Ornn coming in.
Nocturne ultimate is available,
this
but
fight.
Turn Dog. This could be a fight here. Eric,
Senna's almost dead.
Senna may be
Senna's-
dead.
he's
Sniped
just
by
dead.
Ultralism. That's a 4v5
Altruism.
now.
Solo kills the Senna.
Yeah, huge play
This
here.
dragon now.
I think they will, unless they're going to go for, I mean, who knows if these teams play so weak side. He's going for a play here. He's going to miss Roebuck here. Potentially Warhead. Is he? No way he's looking for this. No way he's looking for this. They're going to try to look for a steal. Oh!
The Ziggs ulti. So much damage, has the potential to take it there. But
Roebuck?
Grinchy do walk away with the kill and with the dragon. And that's just going to stall out the soul for another few minutes. A lot more breathing room for Grinchy Goons to get their carries online. There's a really big play for Altruism to step forward and punish the Senna for her really aggressive positioning.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess the side of Crosspoint Origin must have heard that I was trying to fix my sleep schedule, because I thought we were going to end by 10 p.m., keep the CCS tradition alive, but nope. You got to make the game going. You got to get the 10 PST time finish. And what do you know, 18 minutes, 18 kills, and only a 2k gold advantage. To be honest, Crosspoint Origin did have the early advantage, but with the way it's going off, it looks like Grinchy Goons is trying to come back.
And they still have a way into this game. Nocturne here just walks into the unwarded brush, but he's able to get out with the spell shield.
Yep, and we're back here available, and game's kind of down a bit. I mean, Baron will be up in 1 minute. The last game was any indication of this game. Expect quite a bit of team fights around that Baron pit, as both teams strive for control.
Now that all these outer towers are out, you know, Ziggs has just been farming up. Hasn't really had too much to do so far. So I think if you're a Crosspoint Origin, you want to try and move as a team, retake control of the map. And you see here, they're doing exactly that. They're in the river, they're taking the Rift Herald here. But it looks like Grinchy Goons might actually look for a collapse here.
Warhead trying to secure his Rift Herald before it expires. Guster Posey, he's gonna find weak side Rift. He's caught out. Arrow's caught out as well. Here comes the ulti by Nocturne. Nocturne trying to go on Arrow. He's trying to 1v1. But Kern Dog, he's actually losing this 1v1
Kern Dog win this.
He does win this, but he's gonna know his life. Warhead, he's barely gonna let Ninja ulti use. They're trying to chase down Warhead. Warhead Q misses down. He's so close to dying. Pink Collecting needs one W. He gets a stun, and that's Rift Herald on the side of Grinchy Goons, but they do use your jungle for it. So on the bot side, Ziggs is pushing with Roebuck here. They may get this tower, but Ultra he's trying to 1v2 this.
I mean, I don't even know what's happening, because we have like Crosspoint, you know, it looks like they're going for a play on the Herald, and Grinchy Goons, I mean, they respond to it and they punish it. They have more members on their team, and Israel's just able to fend off on this two-man push bot lane. So that's another big play for Grinchy Goons, and they seem like they're going to want to equalize this game here once these towers start to fall. They get one. Here they have. They're going to be... Echo going to be forced to burn the ultimate as well. Get the charge off onto the second tower. And, you know, just like that, they're up in kills. They're behind a little bit of gold, but, you know, if they can just play for their team fight, keep punishing...
Yeah, here, and on the side of Crosspoint Origin, they're trying to regain this game here, trying to get this priority. They do lose their Rift Herald, like you said, but more or less, we're trying to gain back priority. And I'll have to clear here Infernal Soul. Infernal Drake, he's up in 2 minutes, so really expect this side of Grinchy Goons. I'd like them to use it. Whoa, Gravio, he's getting caught out here. He can just be dead here. Good use of a Janna ulti. He's going to be fine, and overall, let's kite back in the fight. Yeah, and besides that right now, Arrow trying to juke back the Tornado. more or less trying to dance around the Drake. Like, it's only about 140 back, and oh my god, Arrow's gonna actually be hit on King Calente. He's trying to fight here. Warhead trying to go in. Huge Ezreal ult. He actually gets 3 people. Warhead, he's trying to fight. He's on King Calente. He's trying to fight. He's gonna go back here. Trying to kite back, but more or less nothing occurs, and both teams are able to back off. Both Grinchy, Goons, and Crosspoint Origin continuing to fight. And the kind of the fiesta kind of more or less continues here. And you know, Glacial, what do you like this? What would you like here? Oh, hold on for a second. Colonel going aggressive.
Overextending for the tier 2 tower.
Yeah. I think Sean's
dead. Picking him up.
Yep. I was just about to say, what do you want Crosspoint to do here? And that is not what you want him to do.
I mean, I was. Oh, here we go. On the replay. So, I mean, that's the power of the Nocturne pick. I was doubting this at first because it doesn't really seem in theme with the rest of the comp, but what we really see it doing here is just punishing a lot of the positioning mistakes that Crosspoint keeps going for. And here it is, like the ulti, he's trying to get the tier 2 tower, but he's just not respecting the semi-global pressure of the Nocturne to make that an easy 2v1 pickup for Grinchy Goons.
Yeah, and I think we see the Nocturne's ability, especially in lower elo, I would say, you know, plat, gold, you know, anything around the D2 and below range. A lot of people not really respecting Nocturne, and kind of the fact that he kind of pressures, especially solo laners who overextend, and solo laners don't really respect their opponent. Kind of allows Nocturne to get these free kills, and Kerndog, who had a really bad start, has basically caught up in gold, and I think he's actually advantage gold. Hold on for a second, Guster Push is going super aggressive. He should be finding Kerndog eating a lot. The Ezreal ult have been on point, but the Senna heals keeps going. Arrow trying to fight back. Spike.
And with Dragon coming up here in just a few seconds, this is something that Crosspoint's really going to want. Oh, the Action's going to flash in. Can they get the Ezreal? The shutdown on the Ezreal, that's massive for Crosspoint. They're going to be able to get into the Dragon Pit now, and they're going to be trying to look at Soul Point here.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get the advantage on the Drake here, trying to go for Soul Point, but you have to be careful for Tornado here. King Calente, he's trying to get more pressure here, and Warhead going to miss. Shot, and oh my god, Oral.
Oh, they're actually going to try and take the 3v5. Nocturne's going to dive straight in.
Yeah, Nocturne's the backside here. So low
much damage.
He's going to pop off. But Darius, he's still alive here. Warrior, he's trying to fight the 1v1. He's trying to fight the backside weak save refuge. He's trying to keep going. Gravel's gonna die. Somehow, someway, Crosspoint actually win this fight. They're just not able to kill the Echo or the Darius. And the low health bars are not able to get through. And they're gonna actually get the Drake. This will be so point for the side of Crosspoint Origin.
I mean, they get over aggressive. You know, you have some buffer room to give up the Drake. You don't have to fight, you know, this 3v5. I mean, they made a great pick on Ezreal. And now you're just lacking the damage. Imagine if Ezreal's here, you know, just a few Qs in an auto, and this fight goes in a completely different direction, but they're just not able to kill anyone. They give up the Drake. They give up a lot of shutdowns. There were 4 shutdowns on the side of Grinchy Goons before this fight. And they're just going to go over, and that's just a big swing in Crosspoint's favor as they reclaim a stronghold on this game.
Yeah, and I think one thing that Crosspoint played out really well, and actually more Grinchy Goons did not respect is a better way to put it, is he's kind of like Darius roam, right? We saw it early in this game. Darius, he thrives in these like more chaotic, like unorganized fights, and if you look at Darius walk around, not target him, he's, oh my god. Speaking of walking to Kerndog, he's almost just dying for no reason.
Kerndog will be dying
for no reason, actually. Sean picking him off.
I mean, this is what we've seen from last game. It's the same thing. And once Crosspoint gets control of the jungle, Grinchy Goons just aren't able to respond. They aren't able to get in. Kerndog just face checking again with no wards, and they're all in there, and they're gonna punish him for that.
Sean 1v1ing Cinder Beach be dead here.
Action.
Yes, that's a kill.
Using the going rogue, going stealth, he picks off the Ezreal earlier, now he picks off the mid laner, and it just looks like Crosspoint just have a full hold on this game. Grinchy Goons are just lost.
I will like to hesitate you 1 second, Glacial, because that's what we saw last game, and then Crosspoint Origin teetering back, giving Grinchy Goons just kind of like almost like swings of life, you know. They have control of the game, they have the priority, and just for whatever reason, just overextending, over-punishing, and obviously, you know, we did result in the side of Crosspoint Origin winning, but it was not as clean as they wanted to. But overall, they are up, give or take, what, 6k gold right now? Like, yeah, Sean is marking the mark. Oh, Sean 1v2? Kerndog near Sean? Oh, he's gonna get out.
Both of the blast plants.
Wait, we may see
Nocturne ults, but he has no vision. That's just gonna be a wasted ulti.
The irony suits yourself. Nocturne making the map dark for himself and everyone else. And Guster Posey looking on weak side refuge. Weak side refuge, Joe. Only died 1 time. He's been playing pretty safe most of the game, so I don't think Guster Posey has the damage to actually be able to kill this for him, but the priority will be in him. And overall, in the mid lane though, there could be some fighting. Guster Posey's trying to trade up his Horn, but he has to be careful. Horn is very tanky.
Yeah, if Crosspoint can just hold on to their lead, not go for any... Ooh, almost grabs the Ezreal there. But if they can just hold on, you know, keep Ziggs alive, keep Action alive, you don't have to dive in 1v3. You can just keep looking for these single picks, take the fights that are free. Ezreal jumps in again with the just one-shots the Senna for him positioning.
Both he's 80
here's
carries
the start of the
crazy.
throw.
Sean's gonna go. He's gonna
Sean
blow up
jumps
Janna
in.
here. Janna, she's actually able to live the ulti. Janna's still alive. He's somehow
Ezreal
gonna live.
misses.
Sean. Look, Sean
Oh
actually
my God.
died. But Ezreal looks like he's ITB on the other side. They're trying to fight here.
Ezreal
He's
lives.
trying to 1v3. Ezreal somehow alive. He's trying to go back in the fight.
He's
Ultra's
walking
trying to look for a
back
play
in.
here. Coster Posey. He has to be careful. He does have the ulti still, it looks like. So you maybe look for a play. His Gus would be super aggressive. Your Ultra somehow lives, somehow survives. But Ranger's still alive as well. As
And
long
that's
as Ranger's alive, this fight can be going crazy.
Yeah, Grinchy Goons can't get anything off that other than just some kills, but I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about. You know, Senna she's such a squishy champion, and Ezreal over the wall gets a great pick. Action dives in 1 versus 2, just bites off more than he can chew, and there's a lot of damage coming out of the Ezreal. You know, the shielding and the healing of Janna able to keep them alive.
Oh my god, speaking of damage, King Kalanti's running cut off, but Guster has used the ult here defensively.
Yeah, Syndra gets this scatter of the week up just in time to force Echo back and stay alive. And you know, even with that throw, you know, Crosspoint are fine. This is what I was saying. You know, if you keep the waves shoved in, if you keep the pressure on the map, you can throw a little bit. And you know, they won't really be able to get anything out of it. So we're still gonna be basically back at the same game state. You know, Grinchy Goons maybe with a little bit more gold, but Crosspoint fully in control.
Yeah, I think Crosspoint, honestly that fight could have gone differently, right? If Akshan gets the kill on Ezreal and Janna, that's probably fair, right? That's probably the game more like ends. But she gives the game ending in 50 seconds. Crosspoint Origin has the Infernal Soul. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you've seen Ziggs fed with Infernal Soul. The farming on Ziggs hasn't been exactly elite, is the best way I can put it. But the kills are there. He's got 7 kills. He does a lot of damage. He's got free items right now. He's gonna hurt a lot with this Infernal Soul.
Yeah, and if there's any time that Grinchy Goons wants to step up and look for a fight, it's now. The Ornn upgrades are coming in. Ezreal with 3.5 items and the crown.
Darius can be picked off here.
Darius.
They're gonna use Darius is picked off here. They're gonna go in. Kurndog trying to kill, but somehow a shot in the back lane.
Akshan is just 1v4.
He's just dead. He's just dead. He ends up trolling the fight, and 2 more down on the side of Crosspoint Origin. And all of a sudden now, this dragon that was so achievable here from Crosspoint Origin may be going down, but Ziggs is still alive.
I mean, it's just such a mistake. You want to get Ziggs into the pit. You want to get your team into the pit. Don't let Grinchy Goons in. Instead, what they do, Darius just overcommits, and they find a really good pick off with the Nocturne and the Syndra.
Yeah, and I mean, unless Ranger...
Ziggs with the ulti. Ziggs with the ult. Is he going to use it?
No.
They're just going to pick up the dragon.
Surprised he used it at least somewhat. Oh, they're going to go super aggressive. They have to be careful. Ziggs ulti could come out here and just blow them up. Instead, wait, as we're talking,
meanwhile,
Echo's
on the top lane,
yep. Yeah.
So Echo, his team died. He really didn't have any reason to leave, and he does pick up 2 turrets actually.
Yes. He's actually
probably just gonna be able to walk away from the Ornn. So that's you know, they get something back. Actually, he probably will be falling here though. Nocturne and Ezreal are looking for this kill. He just gets the towers, but he will trade his life.
Maybe. Oh, good use of the shield. Kurndog's gonna go in. The stun comes out. He's gonna be stunned. Does he have flash?
Oh, no. Unfortunate flash for Guster Posey. You know, he tried to make the miracle. Yeah, they tried to make the miracle outplay, but in the end, it wasn't really worth it. And then that's a key. Oh, speaking of a key cooldown,
oh my god! Robux, they're gonna get the kill. Kurndog, he's gonna one shot. He's dead. Ultra's been
Action's just killing everybody.
Yes.
Can't Action do it?
Crazy. Darius gonna kill as well.
They 2v3 it. What a massive play. Ziggs has just been hitting the towers.
Yes, and they're going for the game here, Glacial? I think they are. They're TP'ing in.
Teleports are coming in.
Comes in. Don't use the Sato. We're not going to use the air and use the Sato here. They have to use it right now.
The Lich Bane on Echo. The Ziggs. The towers just fall so fast.
This may be game.
Everyone's just dead on the side of Grinchy Goons.
I don't know. They're actually going to go safe here and try to get the top tower. I mean, about 5 seconds.
15 seconds on Syndra, but there's just no minions. The top wave is pushing away. You know, they can't get anyone in. It looks like Grinchy Goons are going to be able to hold on for a second longer.
Yeah, and I mean, whew. Wow, Grinchy Goons, it was kind of the reverse of happened to Dragon Pit, right, Grace? So, I mean, last fight was Warhead and Roebuck just kind of more or less inting the Dragon Pit away, to be blunt. And this time it's Roebuck and Warhead winning the Baron Pit fight.
Yeah, a massive flash in on Darius. They're in the 2v3, but that's what I was saying about Ezreal, is if you can't land on the Qs, I mean, that's his fight to carry, but instead, they survive, and they're just able to play it front to back, get on top of the Ezreal. You know, he runs out of dashes at some point, and then you just blow him up with the Action once his shield falls. And that's a really big pickup.
Yeah, was that a Crosspoint or a Grinchy Goons pause?
Not too sure.
Regardless, a pause comes in, but right now, Glacial, if you're on the side of Grinchy Goons, what do you want him to do right now to try to get back into this game?
Well, you denied Soul. You know, you still have Baron on the map. The 2 inhibitors being down is a very big loss, but what you really gonna try and do here is just keep looking for those picks like we've been doing before. You know, use this Nocturne, use the Syndra, and if you can find those, you know, single player picks, that some of these objectives do become contestable. They just have to be careful, you know, just like last game, if Crosspoint get into the base of Grinchy Goons, the game is over. The towers will fall.
Yep.
So just really keep an eye out for that. The game's going to be very hard to play for them, but if they find the picks they need to, they have a chance back in this game.
Yeah, they have double TP, as you mentioned, so if Grinchy Goons decide to go for the play, not only is it easy for the side of Crosspoint to try to backdoor, it's also quite easy for them to stop the actual bases from the side of Grinchy Goons. They have quite a bit of poke here, so you could definitely see a scenario in which Crosspoint Origin tries to stop the bases, tries to actually go for a play, and basically does another backdoor, which would be insane, but not surprising to the series so far.
Yeah, if Crosspoint can just get to these objectives, group up as a team, use the range on the Ziggs, and just keep them, you know, dancing around the dragon, you're always going to have the pressure from those 2 inhibitors down. And if you could just keep them there, keep Grinchy Goons without an option, then Crosspoint should be able to pick up this game.
Yep, and I think overall, as you see the replay right here, Guster Posey going for that play, gets a top tower. Unfortunately, I feel like he was a little bit greedy here, trying to get this flash. I think he was fine. He already got 4 people to chase him. That's a lot of priority just for a dragon, but he goes through a miracle play, and that unfortunate flash gets him out.
You know, he ends up dying here, but it really doesn't matter because we see, you know, Darius and Echo walk up, and they're just able to go for an absolutely massive play for the 2v3 in the river. And that, you know, you might be able to get the pick on the Echo, but when you're losing fights like that, and here we see again, just getting caught out, these are the kind of plays that Grinchy Goon needs to make to get back into the game.
Yeah, and I mean, really, this was just, frankly, from the side of Warhead and Roebuck, kind of questionable by them to actually go for that play. Shows how ahead you are. But this was the play that we have to give credit for, right? I mean, almost Akshan 1v2 in the backline, instead dying, and that was kind of like Grinchy Goon to be able to get these play, but they had their respect. Ranger, just look at the Ziggs damage. I mean, like, if one of these bombs hits, you can weak side, or Gravio, or Altruism, they just die, right? So they have to be careful, and just, I mean, just look how close he was, right? If that shield, honestly, if that shield doesn't come from Jan, I think he just dies, no?
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a close fight. Of course, Ezreal, a lot of pressures on him when he misses that Q, so, you know, it could really go in any direction there. But now Ziggs, I mean, he's nearing his 4th item now. All you really have to do, just keep him alive, keep him off the Ziggs. He's pumping out so much damage, creating so much pressure. And when you get those picks you need to, you know, Crosspoint should be able to pick it up.
And this was the fight that we mentioned earlier, Glacial. How the hell did Crosspoint win? Well, look at Darius here. Look at Warhead. He actually flanks him out. He comes in crazy, and Roebuck, Ranger, Guster, Posey are able to somehow, very low HP, survive. And then the Darius cleans up and lets him get their first Drake. So, I mean,
that's the thing. Yeah, when the fight, like, it looks like a good start to the engage, but you know, look at this entire time. Their key player, the Ezreal, that's their, you know, their carry. He's the damage. And when he's not there, no matter how good the engage is, they just don't have the damage to finish it off. Everyone's just going to survive at low health bars here. And that's just, you know, a big mistake here from Grinchy Goons to not just, you know, give up the dragon.
And you can't let Warhead be untouched, right? You just can't let that happen, right? Because if you do, he's gonna stop it. And look, I mean, as you see this replay here, Nocturne comes in, they got him where we want him, you think, right? The Janna ulti comes in and resets, but King Calente, he gets pocket up here by the Akshan, and Warhead, he literally just walks in the team fight. I kid you not. I mean, Darius, a lot of the criticism that champion has, he can be easily kited. He doesn't have a gap close, right? Just when you're jungle, like, how exactly do you gank the other person? How exactly do you fight? But it's very easy when the enemy just doesn't hit you.
The last thing you want to give Darius in these team fights is it's a way to flank, a way to get into the fight. If they can play it front to back, you know, he's going to be pretty useless. I mean, they have this so much CC between the Ornn, the Nocturne, the Syndra, the Janna. Just keep him off your team. But when he can just walk through the back there, that's just, you know, that's just an easy team fight for him to clean up.
Yeah, it looks like we are back and unpaused here. Obviously, great replay analysis there, Glacial, kind of giving insight on Crosspoint Origin and Grinchy Goons. We're back in the fight, and I really think this game could still go in any direction. You know, Crosspoint, it looks like they have advantage, right? They're up about what, like 6k roughly. They have tempo, they have the pressure, they have Fed, Ziggs, who could more or less kind of poke out the side of Grinchy Goons. But we've seen Grinchy Goons win these fights somehow, and we've seen Crosspoint win these fights here, so who knows what's gonna happen.
I mean, there's a lot of standing gold on the map for Grinchy Goons. You know, if one poor fight leads to Crosspoint Origin getting aced, a lot of these towers could fall. You know, we could see objectives going in the way, and if they can defend and get the gold lead back in their direction, you know, Ziggs is going to start to fall off. Maybe Akshan, Darius, you know, Echo, they're going to start, you know, losing out to champions like Ezreal and Ornn, who are just going to be becoming beasts in this late game. So they really just want to make sure they hold on to this lead, use what they have right now to their advantage.
Yeah, and right now, I think they're trying to go play here on the Janna. Janna, is she gonna be caught out here? Nope, she's gonna run away. Good tornadoes to Janna so far, and
yeah, that's the power. Oh, and Guster Posey.
He's caught out potentially. He has ulti. He's gonna use his Zonies here. Does he have the ulti to actually get away?
Yes.
He does. Not gonna use ulti somehow though. Oh my
Jetson,
god, Jensen,
is that you?
Yeah,
what? I mean, he just dies.
And meanwhile, Warhead trying to fight the 1v5 here. Very low signal. Only hits one person here.
A massive blunder.
Grinchy could lead our fight. They're gonna be able to go in.
They can just group up. Everyone's
win the fight.
I mean, yeah, that's just a massive blunder
Ziggs,
from
however,
Guster
still
Posey.
alive. Ranger, he's trying to 1v4 here, 1v5 here. He's very low. Oh, the Blastman almost gets him. Ultras almost gets a Q over. They're able to live. They're trying to kite back. Ranger 24. He's able to somehow live and look. Wait, for a second here. Look, they're going for the backboard play. They're
see some pings. Some pings are going down onto the minions. Grinchy Goons is going to turn. Akshan is looking like he's going to go for a stall play, maybe.
Maybe.
But Ornn resets. The TP is coming in.
Wait,
Akshan dies.
Oh my god, it's a disaster for the side of Crosspoint Origin.
This is not the Crosspoint backdoor I know and love. That is a disaster. Akshan dies. Ziggs wastes his teleport. I mean, and now Grinchy Goons get Baron. And right, like that massive gold lead that Crosspoint had, it's minimized. It's 2k now. And they get the Baron. These idioms are going to start coming back up soon. And Grinchy Goons are going to be able to get around the map. This Ezreal is just so fed after these fights. 9-2, picking up his items. You know, once he gets fed, how do you really envision this guy dying? I mean, he has the crown. It's going to be so hard to pick him off. He has a lot of burst damage onto the Akshan. And, you know, this can be really, really big here. Grinchy Goons might actually have a way back into this game.
Oh, Warhead. And Glacial hold his spot. This is literally the game right here. No, I mean, they're going. Warhead, he's really so aggressive here with Darius. But he's actually getting caught out here. Also, huge damage and Q. Warhead's now at half HP, and all of a sudden, Arrow can heal Warhead up, though, which is the one advantage of this setup. And as long as Ziggs hits these Qs, they should be able to poke, and the Qs come in, but they have to go for his play. No, player of a game, what are they going to do? Echo, he's still in the mid lane. He's not.
It's just going to be a 50-50.
He's going to miss it. He's just dead.
He's dead.
And Inferno should be the trigger and post Grinchy Goons.
Soul denied again by Grinchy Goons. Game is dead even. The Inhibs, you know, they're still getting their wave shoved into them, but they're going to be really happy being able to get out there to that dragon, secure the dragon, even with these inhibitors down, especially now that, you know, the TP from Ziggs is down. There's a lot less pressure on your base. And this is exactly what Grinchy Goons needed to get back into this game.
This is something. Oh my god, Arrow should be dead here. Ferndog, he's gonna get to pick him off. Flash by Arrow. Not even purpose. Ulti comes in. He's just gonna die though. It's a pick off from the side of Ferndog.
Pure disrespect from Arrow this game. We saw at the beginning, he's playing aggressive, playing in their face. When you get this late into the game, you know, you're just too squishy on the center. He's been one-shot by Ezreal. He's been one-shot by Nocturne. 9 deaths now. And he's just
going to respawning, Glacial.
Yeah, I mean, the Inhibs are respawning. We have a big push by Grinchy Goons straight into the mid lane. And these Baron buff minions, it's going to be a lot harder for Ziggs to break it down. This is exactly where Ziggs doesn't want to be, stuck in his base.
God.
And that's just solo kill.
He's just dead.
Syndra.
Caught out by Syndra here. And just the fight continues here on the side of Grinchy Goons. They're now ahead on the gold lead there, Glacial.
I mean, this is just a massive throw by Crosspoint. They were up so far, but Grinchy Goons keep punishing this mispositioning from Crosspoint Origin. And now they're attacking the base, and they have Baron.
Yes, and I mean, really, the one thing that Crosspoint Origin does have is you still have all your outer towers. No, you still actually have most of your towers. I mean, you lost the second tier 2 mid lane, excuse me. But besides that, you have tier 2 everywhere else. I mean, you're probably gonna lose tier 2 top, once I guess you know down. But overall, as long as these tier 3 towers stay up, and if you have Arrow, you have to be careful. Arrow. Arrow is gonna be
I mean, the
fine.
thing about having all these towers up is it's a lot of gold going over the side of Grinchy Goons. I mean, they're just breaking into the base.
Yep. Oh, solo kill. He's going to go and kick Caliente. Echo, trying to go for a solo kill. Echo goes out. Here comes his Zodiac.
Stopwatch.
Flash away. Is he going to live? No, he should not. King Caliente is still fighting back. He doesn't have the stun.
He gets out. He survives.
Wow.
That's massive.
Flash was blown, though.
I mean,
That
that's
is
just
still
a
pretty for
huge gold swing over the Grinchy Goons. I mean, this Syndra, this Ezreal, they are massive. And it looks like Crosspoint Origin is just running out of damage.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing I have to mention here from the side of Crosspoint Origin, one thing they still have going for him is the fact that if Grinchy Goons somehow, some way, lose a team fight pretty badly, they just win, right? Because Crosspoint Origin push. But at this point, the last team fights going on the side of Grinchy Goons has been so bad that I feel like if Crosspoint Origin also blow a team fight, Grinchy Goons win. So really, in 2 minutes here, Glacial, we're going to see what these teams prioritize, because not only is there Baron, but there's also Infernal Soul at the same exact time. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, you know, which teams are going for what. You know, the game is on the line here. Both of these teams are fighting to be a part of the CCS, avoid the relegation. And we have Ranger 24 trying to carry his team on his back so big on the Ziggs. Now, Altruism looking for so many massive plays in this game. Neither of these players want to lose.
yeah, Ranger 24 and Altruism right here. They're trying to do their best LeBron 2018 impression. Trying to literally carry their teams on their back. And I have to give credit, especially for the Ziggs. I'm kind of surprised Ziggs. I think it's a combination of the side of Grinchy Goons, for whatever reason, is not punishing the Ziggs hard enough, because I feel like the Ziggs dying only one time is kind of impressive. But at the same time, I feel, hold him for a second here. Bravo, he's going to actually catch out Arrow if the fight comes in. Or he's going to fight Arrow. Arrow's dead.
Senna's just dead again. 10 deaths on the Senna.
10 games, 10
Disaster.
death power spike is hit here, Glacial, but it's only a Senna, though. All things
This
considered, not the worst.
is Grinchy Goons' map.
Oh, Sean, they
What?
see you.
Oh, he is actually able to get out with the camouflage.
Yes.
But here's the thing. In that last, fight, we saw Grinchy Goons, pushing in the base with the Baron buff. Akshan is the only player on the side of Crosspoint Origin that's going to have any hope of breaking through this Ornn on the front line. If he's just sitting there face-taking all those Ziggs bombs, I mean, we see he has the Force of Nature, the Iceborne Gauntlet, the Fimbulwinter. He does not care about the Ziggs damage at all. And, if he's staying alive, if Akshan's on the split, Crosspoint are going to have trouble defending against this massive Grinchy Goons team.
Yeah, and I mean, in 20 seconds, Glacial, we could be queuing up Silver Scrapes in 5 minutes, or Winner's Turn. Guster Prosy apparently he wants Silver
my
Scrapes.
God.
It's caught out
Ghoster.
here. He's going to use his own.
Stopwatch. They need the follow-up.
He's just going to die.
He's just dead.
He's just dead. Warhead will be dead too. This could be the game. They're going to try to kite back to Warhead. Good
Ezreal's
shoot.
just doing
Oh my
so
God.
much damage right now. I mean,
But-
Crosspoint, what do you even do at this point?
Crosspoint, at least they don't lose their team and lose the game. So I can see what they're going to do here. They're going to try to contest it. We do have Ziggs, though. They do still have Ziggs. If Ziggs...
Trying to go all
Ziggs.
in. All he has to do is maybe
Warhead
gets the
comes
ulti.
in. Rollback does
on
get
the
caught
dragon.
out. Warhead is caught out here. The matchup Warhead should be dead here. Unless Ziggs... No, they don't get it. Inferno is consoled from the side of Grinchy Goon. You're going to try to dish out Arrow. Arrow should be dead here. Huge use of the bombs from Ziggs. He should be alive. Good rulebook. Bravo's
Janna
trying to chase.
flashing forward, goes flash for
out.
flash with the Ziggs.
Yes, a good flash here from Ziggs. He could have potentially died. And whew, the game continues in Infernal Soul now on Grinchy Goons.
More Infernal Souls for Grinchy Goons. That is not what you want to see on the side of Crosspoint Origin. This Ezreal is just going to be one-shotting absolutely everybody at this point in the game.
Sean, what are you doing?
Sean's just going for the hero play.
Sean's dead.
He just gets blown up. I mean, you're an 80 carry, buddy. Have fun with that play. I mean, that's just the last-ditch effort. Crosspoint Origin knows that...
No way, bro. Gus, you're trying to... He almost steals it. It's he's gonna die. And now, I mean, they still... The thing that we have to remember, as long as Ranger's alive, pushing into Crosspoint Origin is very, very difficult.
That's true, but the Baron buff might be able to keep these minions alive. He might be able to go and hit the tower. Ornn can also just stand in front of those Ziggs
Have to make
bombs.
time for Sean. Oh, he's going for a point here.
Cherndog wants to win.
No flash on Ranger 24.
Ziggs is dead.
It's over. It's over. Unless something crazy happens. Huge ulti up the side of Ornn. They're going to
That's
catch that
just gonna
Ornn.
be it.
Warhead's dead. Arrow's dead as well. He's just one auto away. He's actually somehow living. He needs to fight. It's a 1v5. The miracle play would have to happen from Arrow here. Literally the greatest hold of all time. Arrow, he's trying to hold it back. It's a 1v5 here. He needs to hold. Jukes out. Oh, he does not. Juke out the
He's
Ornn.
just
That's
dead.
That's game. We're going to
Grinchy Goons
Silver Scrapes game
grab-
3.
They take victory from the jaws of defeat, down thousands and thousands of gold. Their towers are gone. Their inhibs are gone. The opponent's about to get sold. They have the Baron. It looks like there's no way back in. But they keep finding the picks. They keep finding the team fight. And that's just a massive comeback. And you know Grinchy Goons has to be feeling good about that game.
I can't really describe what I just watched right now, Glacial, I'm gonna be honest with you. That was something. That was just truly wow. I mean, it just really looked at from the side of Crosspoint. They had the game, they had the early advantage, and then all of a sudden, they just blow it. I mean, I don't know. It just was so close, and I mean, I guess credit to Grinchy Goons and really credit to Altruism. He really stepped up his play game too.
Yeah, I mean, Grinchy Goons really had to play the game correctly to have any way back into this, and they keep perfectly spotting all of these positioning errors. They're getting picks onto Arrow, they're getting picks onto Guster Posey, you know, and everyone's just, they can't really fight if they're always just down players, and you know, they keep defending, and once those ornaments start to come in, once Ezreal starts to get loaded up on this gold, it just becomes a lot harder to fight, and they hold on, you know, right there on the edge, and they're able to come back in a major way.
Yeah. And we're going to go here on a quick break, get our breath, get ready for game 3 of Grinchy.
Only bangers here.
Only bangers on CCS2, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We're going to game 3 of Grinchy Goons and Crosspoint Origin. And we are back here for Game 3. That's our only bangers here on CCS 2.
Only bangers.
Only bangers of
The
Played on
CCS
Promise.
Toilet Bowl Classic. And this is going to be one for the ages. I mean,
It is. It is. And I'm going to be honest. If you put a gun to my head right now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know who I'd pick. I'd probably flip a coin.
nope,
I have
yep.
no idea.
It's just all over the place. I mean, this last game is the first chance we really saw like one team take a controlling lead, and we saw what happened to that.
Mm-hmm.
A couple picks later, a couple good plays from Grinchy Goons, it just evaporates, and a really big comeback victory. And it's really anyone's game at this point. Grinchy Goons back on the blue side. Crosspoint, they might want to change things up going into this third game. So we'll see what they do. They've had some very creative drafts so far. And we'll see how it opens up here.
Yeah, and I think one thing I will say from the series, Grinchy Goons, if they win, as crazy as this sounds, ladies and gentlemen, they actually still have a realistic playoff chance, right? So like, the I guess what is it, the 2-5 dream, the miracle run, it's still possible. Crosspoint, realistically playing spoilers right now, but they also could run. And as you see from bans, nothing too crazy. The Kerndog Rengar, respected, and the Pantheon band as well. And they just instant pick Ezreal. Honestly, I don't blame them.
I mean, they're happy to pick up that Ezreal after his performance last game. Even with every 80 carry on the table, they're like, this is his. But in response to that, we're getting a Caitlyn Karma, which is going to try to be a nice bully. Normally, what we see as a response to Caitlyn would be the Ezreal Karma. And of course, Caitlyn's been seeing some nerfs recently. So she's fallen in priority, but she can be a very strong lane bully. So it looks like we're going to be playing more towards the bot side this game. Try and break down the towers. Same kind of thing as last game, but you got the Caitlyn who really is going to scale hard into the late game, more so than the Ziggs.
Yep, and I mean, I don't really... Oh, they're just going Yumi here. I don't really know what to make here from the side of Grinchy Goons and Crosspoint bot lane, because, I mean, I've seen, I guess... What's the I guess correct way to say this? Interesting interpretations from both game 1 and game 2 from them. Obviously, in both last game, I think the Ziggs did a pretty good job staying alive, all things considered. And the Ezreal did a great job somehow, some way, able to carry Grinchy Goons to the finish line. But they're gonna pick the Ezreal Yumi here against the Kate Karma bot lane. And for Grinchy Goons, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're gonna pick a Nocturne, and they're gonna, oh my god, they're just gonna pick Jax.
Interesting Jax pick up here. Blind pick for, I'm assuming, Sergeant Roebuck in the top lane.
Yeah.
This is a champion we've seen him play a few times, and we'll see what he's able to do with it. Ezreal Yumi, that's not traditionally a very strong laning combo. Normally, you'll just see Ezreal pick up the tier, pick up the Sheen, and just sit back, farm with Q. They have some sustain, but there's going to be a lot of pressure coming out from this Caitlyn Karma bot lane. So we'll see if Grinchy Goons are able to hold up. Because, if Ezreal can make it out of the laning phase, we've seen what Altruism can do on the champion. And then Yumi, she's probably, maybe Ezreal's fed, but likely we're going to see her jump on something like the Nocturne, or maybe they'll pick up another strong bruiser. Oh, Zillion here.
Oh my god, one of my favorite champions to play and also to watch. But Zillion comes out here from the side of Crosspoint Origin. I'm very curious how Zillion's going to go. Do you think that's a Guster Posey Zillion mid?
Yeah, I'd have to imagine so. And we'd see the Karma going bot lane with the Caitlyn. Two really supportive champions with two very, very hard carries. And we're just going to see another Ornn here. Third Ornn in a row for Weak Side Refugee. He's been doing a good job on it. Last game, yeah, he was playing against the Akshan, a really big lane bully, and he was fine just farming it out. He didn't get solo... he survived the solo kill attempts from Sergeant Roebuck that game, and he was able to match farm and ended up scaling, giving his team the items, and they're happy just picking the Syndra again. If it don't broke, don't fix it. Now we just have basically what is just a run back from Grinchy Goons, except in substitution of the Jenna, they've broken out the Yumi.
Yeah, I kind of like that from Grinchy Goons, right? Like, to an extent, because I really think from what we saw from laning phase, Crosspoint Origin more or less dumpstered Grinchy Goons in laning phase and bot lane. So really from Crosspoint Origin, it's kind of confusing because you're like approaching game frame, you're like Grinchy Goons. Oh my!
Is this going to be a Jax jungle for Warhead? It might be.
For Crosspoint Origin, I'm going to wait till I go to client draft what they're picking. But for Grinchy Goons, who are a lot more standard, it's very
Warhead, he's got a thing for the top laners in the jungle, for sure.
He does.
But, he has a strong laning top laner, a strong, supportive mid laner that's going to be able to enable this Jax. And we'll see if he's just able to run wild with this game. I think the Yumi's a good adaptation, and if you're gonna keep a draft that's like mostly the same, I'd say substituting out the Janna in this game was a good adaptation and draft because we see Crosspoint going for a very different style of team almost, where they have the Caitlyn, they have the Jax, they got these couple carries and a lot of Enchanter style picks as opposed to the very like fighting and engagey style comp that they had last time with the Darius, the Echo, and etc. So just keeping the Yuumi, trying to keep people alive, I think will be a good adaptation in this draft for Grinchy Goons.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say here, while Grinchy Goons won game 2, as I did highlight, they should have lost game 2. Let's be honest. Crosspoint Origin had a pretty big lead. It kind of dumpstered them in most lanes, to be honest. And I really feel like Grinchy Goons, I understand running it back because this is basically more or less their season, right? If they win game 3, they still have a chance. I can double check right now exactly what they're playing for week 7 and week 8. But this is their season, right? They have to win this season or have to win this game to have a chance to make playoffs. And it just feels like Crosspoint has gifted you game 2 now that you beat him game 2. So it's very interesting they're going back to the same draft.
Yeah, and even though maybe these teams aren't exactly expecting to make it to playoffs, they're trying to stay out of that bottom 2. They're fighting for their life in the CCS. They do not want to get relegated. They want to prove they belong here. So they've been swinging back and forth. A lot of players showing off what they're capable of. And it's all just going to come down to who can coordinate better, who can throw less, basically. The name of the game's just been getting picked off, overextensions. If you can play as a team, ward as a team, stay as a team, fight as a team, then that's the formula of victory here.
Yeah, and I think one thing I want to mention from Grinchy Goons, I looked at their opponents. They play Sensei and Goldfish. So it's a very tough role for them, but Sensei has shown to be very coin flippy. And listen, with the way CCS is playing off, if Grinchy can take game 3, they'll be 2-5, right? If let's say somehow, some way, Sensei coin flip tails and they take week 8, they're now 3-5. And all of a sudden, maybe, just maybe, Goldfish, they're in week 9. They maybe secure a top 2 bye. They more or less have kind of guaranteed their spot. Maybe they don't take it as serious. There could be a realistic scenario of a Grinchy Goons somehow, some way, make the miracle 1-5 run to playoffs. It is still possible, but first need to not troll them.
And they've had like a lot of series where they might still be losing, but they're picking up a game here and there, and that's going to be really important because if they're actually able to make it to the tiebreakers with one of these three teams, maybe they end up 3-5, 4-5, 3-6. Tiebreaker ends up around there, and they know that could be a difference maker. So, Grinchy Goons, if they can win this, there's still a chance. It might not be entirely, in their control, but there's still hope that they're playing for out there.
And if they do make the miracle run, they'll have head-to-head tiebreaker on both PGO and Sensei. So you could see a scenario when it's Grinchy Goons by virtue of, I don't know, prayer, to be honest, sneak into 6th place.
You never know what could happen because they showed a lot of really solid teamwork and a lot of, that not only did they go for those big plays, like with the Ezreal getting a lot of solo kills onto the support, they were also able to show that, we're not going to get picked off. We're going to stay safe. We're not going to give up kills in these important fights. And if they can continue playing that way, play smart, punish the enemy team, then not only can we see them taking this game, but maybe they can ride some of that momentum into next week.
Yeah. And as we're going to do a quick break here, obviously Glacial is a very tough decision for you, but if you had to pick anyone to win game 3, who do you think win between Grinchy Goons and Crosspoint Origin?
That is a great question. I think I'm going to go with Grinchy Goons here on this one. They're playing it. They finally got into their rhythm last game. And, they're playing the same team comp. If they can just play the same way, I think they should have the advantage if they can survive the pressure from the Caitlyn and make sure that the Jax and Wukong just don't turn into these absolute, monsters on the Rift that we know that they're capable of doing. Then just set them behind, and they should be able to just take a win here.
Yep, and we will see here, as you go into a quick break, don't go anywhere. It's Grinchy Goons versus Crosspoint Origin, game 3. God help us. God help us. Bro, you can't fall asleep watching this series. You can say one thing, but you can't fall asleep watching the series. You get 2 hours of sleep? Well, lucky for you, this game is ending 10 p.m. PST. This is the best of 5, actually.
Oh,
Bro, if this was a best of 5, I'm gonna be honest, Glacial, if you want to leave, that's okay. I wouldn't even blame you. Be like, you know, you're fine. You fair for leave. You fair to leave.
yeah. We got the CCS LOL raid party as well for this.
Oh, we
game.
did. You get to watch. I don't know what to call this.
The typical term would be clown fiesta, but I feel like we've transcended that at this point. I don't even know where you'd go at this point.
I think we probably just delete the server.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think
Absolutely.
it's pretty respectable. Oh, let's look at match history.
Maybe
Shadows. Okay, Shadows 0-1-2-0. Already knew about the
a Mickey
Horizon.
Mouse series, perfect for the Mickey Mouse League.
True. The one series I cast is the one series that I just get to see whatever the God's name is this on. I don't even. That's true. I mean, now that you mention it, here comes the Mickey Mouse jokes.
it's gonna be only Mickey Mouse for this last game for sure.
Welcome to Animal Kingdom, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Nah. True. No, I've tried to refrain from being too flamey because I feel like it's very easy to just be like very flamey at the teams, and I've tried to be like somewhat like, you know, professional because I mean obviously I think that's like the cop out answer now. I feel like it's like obviously there are some moments where like what the hell is going on, but like you know, I try to keep it pretty.
I mean, there's some times where it's very questionable, and
Yes.
we
Very
can
questionable, dude.
have a laugh at that, but a lot of the times when the teams are making these plays onto the picks, you know, at least they're being proactive about it. They're not letting them
True.
get away with the
Oh, I
throw.
never. Oh no, it's not a match history. It's just. Yeah, just make sure it's the big thingy. Only because it's too small right now, that's why. Okay, that's fine. Okay. It is 10:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is 1-1. It is Grinchy Goons versus Crosspoint Origin. If Grinchy Goons wins, the miracle run continues. If Crosspoint wins, it basically more or less ends his Grinchy Goons season. We are live with Grain Free here. Glacial, are you excited for what has been a banger? Only bangers on CCS 2.
Only bangers on CCS 2. Grinchy Goons, they're gonna try and ride the momentum they had last game into this one, picking such a similar team comp. And it looks like we have some level 1 shenanigans coming out of Crosspoint
Oh,
Origin.
King I think he's just dead. I actually think he's dead.
Syndra,
And he is!
fucking flash.
He's gonna get flash. We're gonna go on him.
That's
He's
the kill.
He's dead! Already!
First
Crosspoint
blood
Origin,
onto the
first
Karma.
blood. Oh my god.
I mean, who even knows what's happening anymore? That's gonna be a jungle flash from mid flash. So
I
now
think
you
that's
just
fine.
I mean, yeah, you have a point of weakness to attack on the map, maybe. You know, Syndra has a lot of pressure over the Zillion, but if Jax is able to get into the lane, maybe they're going to be able to punish that even more than they already have.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Jax already has a way to actually get on the Syndra. So, you know, the Jax for Syndra flash is actually perfectly fine. And for Guster Posey, he probably wants to flash here, especially knowing that he has a combo with the Syndra and a Nocturne potentially. So, really from side of Crosspoint Origin, I expect a very proactive, like you said, Warhead. Try to beat King Caliente. He hasn't looked the most comfortable, I think, of the Grinchy Goons players. You even argue he's been one of the least comfortable players, I think, on the series so far. So, and Gus has been overall pretty solid from the side of Crosspoint Origin, without the Genshin mistake, obviously. So, I can definitely see him try to get this Zillion ahead. And Zillion, as a champion, not particularly known as the strongest laner. So the fact that his laning phase may be a little bit better now is definitely going to be helpful for Crosspoint Origin.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you know, we saw the Darius last game. We saw Action, we saw Echo. But now they have a lot more mobility to work with. They have a lot of move speed from the Zillion and the Karma. They have the Wukong and Jax both have the dashes. So in theory, it should actually be a lot easier for them to get onto this Syndra, get onto this Ezreal, and absolutely execute them in these team fights.
Yeah, but we do see Yuumi, a favorite champion of 80 carry players everywhere, of course, on the side of Grinchy Goons, and trading from Roback, just trading from Weakside Refuge. But I think we've seen, as you mentioned, Glacial, Weakside Refuge living up to his name, and he really has been fairly good at the weak side. as quote-unquote as a refugee, more or less, because he really hasn't getting a lot of assistance from Kerndog, but he has more or less not died most of these games.
A lot of my long-standing chronic trust issues can be attributed to my Yuumi bot lanes, who just absolutely love to stay with me in lane, and then lane ends, and I'm never seeing my support for the rest of the game. An absolute tragedy. Hopefully, Altruism gets a little bit better treatment with his bot lane duo after basically hard carrying the last game for them.
Yeah, you hope that Graviolo here respects his carry, respects his, I guess you could say, father, quote-unquote, and lets Altruism just be on him and doesn't grief him, hopefully. I mean, they've given this Yuumi to kind of enchant him, and good damage from Arrow here.
He's getting rooted.
Yeah, it really is.
But
Arrow, he's dead. Arrow's
my
dead.
god. Ezreal executing Arrow. And it's like a flashback to last game. Eing forward, getting the kill on the support. Just stepping too far forward on these, on these supportive characters. Zillion out of mana in the mid lane.
Yeah, Gus should be fine though. I mean, the Syndra doesn't do enough damage early to be able to have kill pressure, but yeah, I mean, Arrow can't fault him for a great ult. Goss, maybe he does have
flash up, but the stun chain.
Does he flash? Kerndog trying to go kill him.
Is
He's
that
trying
a
to go
kill?
under tower. It is a kill. Good flashback, Kerndog. That's 2 kills from inside of Grinchy Goons.
And, despite the invade, Grinchy Goons are getting off to a great start here. Picking up off a big mistake from Arrow positioning in the bot lane, and then Guster trying to get the wave shoved in, but he just runs out of mana. Kerndog comes in with a great punish. They chain the CC with the Syndra and the Nocturne. They're able to pick up a good kill.
Yeah, but as it is the series tradition, Glacial, whoever gets hurt early is doomed to fail, and I have to be careful. Grinchy Goons, they have an advantage for once, and Roblox fighting weak side refugee. We're actually put resources on
Warhead's just up here.
He is. Warhead's
gonna try and trade, but the clone.
Eco. Weak should be dead here. You on the bot side, Air's going in aggressively again. He's got a lot of damage. Grab it. He's very, very low. You're trying to back off here. Ranger, 1 auto away. He's gonna flash for it. He dies.
Caitlin's just dead.
Evil on the top side. Orin is now dead. Arrow now fighting Ultra. Ultra now has 2 kills. This is not good for the side of Grinchy Goons. Does pick up a kill on the top side on Orin, but overall, you would like this trade from the side of the Goons.
Yeah, I mean, the top laner's gonna fall there. He's just too overextended against the Jax. They set up a good punish. I mean, that's a classic, full clear on the top side. Ornn has to respect that more. That's a big mistake from him. And Yuumi also just getting caught out detached from Ezreal.
Yeah, and
I mean, getting chunked out. This is not how you play Yuumi. You cannot give up your life for your passive stacks, and it's a good thing that Ezreal was able to trade that kill onto Caitlyn, because that helped neutralize a lot of the lead.
Yes.
That,
and Miss Ezreal is also up 12 CS as well. So, I mean, we're going to see a lot of the CS go to Ranger here. Good job by Arrow here to more or less stop the wave from crashing the tower. Guster Posey almost with the sneaky stun, but nothing's going to happen. And overall, it is a 400 gold lead for Grinchy Goons, but King Halente, big damage on Guster Posey. Only going to be half HP though. Gus should be able to run away though. But Roebuck here, he gets the advantage, but this Orin somehow, some way is actually up 10 CS. It means if Warhead's going to continue to prior the top side or let weak side Refuge try to 1v1 the Roebuck in with the Wukong.
Yeah, Ornn fell, but I mean, he's perfectly happy in this top lane so far. I mean, he's gonna stay. Wukong's gonna pick up some of these CS, but overall, I mean, he's doing all right for himself. He's gonna be able to sustain out through the wave, and just like last game, he's just gonna try and farm up. And once he gets to the late game, gets those Ornn items, that's when he really starts to become useful. And he's doing his job again. Weak side refugee, play into his name. And Ezreal as well. Just had an absolutely massive back, may I mention to you, at 5 minutes, picking up the boots, picking up the sheen, picking up the tier. He is a menace in this lane.
Yes, and I mean, I think right now for Ezreal, that's very huge for him, having the ability, oh my god, Sin, you're trying to solo kill the Zillion here. Should be fine, the offense.
Barely not enough mana for her ultimate there, I believe. But both mid laners duking it back and forth.
Yeah, Caitlyn, I mean... Sorry, go on.
Caitlyn really wants to get ahead in the lanes they play.
Roebuck trying to go very aggressive in the Warden here. But the Dragon Pit comes in. Kerndog cut away.
I've seen this before.
He
has no flash this time.
Oh my, Kerndog getting cut out again. As is tradition, the CCS series, Kerndog getting cut in the first Dragon. This should be a first Dragon per Crosspoint. They're continuing to back here. Warhead, he's taking a lot of damage though. They could somehow steal this potentially. Warhead, he's gonna cut off. Ezreal gets a kill. Just shut down.
He's gonna get another.
Double kill from
It's
Ezreal.
all altruism in this game.
God.
He gets the kill onto Arrow. He gets the kill onto Warhead. Kerndog's dead, but they're like, you know what? We got the collapse. Our Ezreal's fed. Just fight him. Just blow him up. And he does exactly that. 4-0. 6 minutes into this game. He's coming through with huge momentum from last game. He's ready to carry it again.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing I have to mention here, The last person, I mean the literal last person you want to get fed here on the side of Grinchy Goons is Altruism in Crosspoint Origin. For better or for worse, they got 4-0. Ezreal was up 9 CS. It's going to be very tough here from side of Crosspoint Origin to actually get this game back.
I mean, this is just a disaster for the Caitlyn Karma bot lane. Normally, you want to be playing to this lane. They're trying to get the shove. They're going to be trying to get the tower plates. Basically, just bully out Ezreal and, you know, get fed that way. Move Caitlyn around, take the plates. But when she falls behind like this, I mean, why would you play Caitlyn instead of playing, you know, someone like the Jinx who just is able to come online super hard at 3 items? Maybe a different champion like Lulu who's able to enable a little bit more. You know, these champions, you have to invest in their early game, and falling this far behind, that's really not what you want to see here from the side of Crosspoint.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously this Ezreal, not only is he in a great spot, as you mentioned, there's not really much I think this Caitlyn Karma lane can do right now, right? This Ezreal lane's so safe. He hasn't really been playing in potential, and I mean, overall from the other side of the map, weak side refugee somehow up 10 CS, even though he's quote unquote given the weak side refugee. And then the Syndrome is up 5 CS on the Zillion. So it really seems on the side of Grinchy Goons, they're in such a great spot here against Crosspoint Origin. They have a 1k advantage, they have the Dragon, and it really just feels really good if you're on the side of Grinchy Goons.
Yeah, Zillion, I mean, he just wants to neutralize the Syndra, and I think he's doing a fine job of that. Syndra hasn't really gotten any advantage out of this lane.
Robux actually going aggressive here on the Ornn. His decoys away. He's actually losing these trains to Ornn here, Glacial.
Yeah, Ornn here with, you know, he's got the Corrupting Pie, he has the Bramble Vest, and
Arrow?
he's starting to get tanky.
Arrow gets
How does
hit.
this Yuumi keep getting caught out?
As is tradition, Glacial. As is tradition.
I don't understand how you keep dying on Yuumi. Just stay attached to the Ezreal. He's so fed. You could just press heal on him. Instead, he's just getting caught out by the Caitlyn and the Ezreal.
Ornn, though, Glacial.
Yeah.
So Roebuck is actually losing these 1v1 trades, but yeah, as you said, I mean, this Yuumi basically keeping Ranger and Arrow alive in this bot lane. Second time he's been caught up for really no reason, to be honest, and they're able to push him, maybe get a plate as well, and oh, he steps in the trap. Huge damage over Ranger. He's gonna need a Q. Ulti on Caitlyn is up. He's gonna use it.
Force him back. Stopwatch.
Stopwatch is used. Smart by Ezreal there, I think. If the stopwatch isn't used, he has to be forced back off. Yuumi comes in, gets the reset in, and all of a sudden turns around. Altruism may go aggressive here. He's gonna actually go against him.
Out of mana.
Ninja comes in as well. Here comes the Nocturne ulti. They're trying to blow. Oh my god, huge stun from Syndra. They should both be dead here. Arrow trying to run away. Here comes the Yuumi ulti. Here comes Jack trying to go back. A good route by the side of Yuumi.
Oh,
You're gonna go on Jax.
That's a massive shutdown.
I'm gonna go shutdown here on the side of Warhead. Warhead trying to fight this off. He's trying to fight one auto. No, he's gonna back off here. Warhead able to live.
Dude,
and somehow, some way, the fight actually turns into a decent map. Oh.
Nocturne ulting, but he's just not even on the right side of the map. He just goes to farm mid lane instead. And Crosspoint have to be happy with how that fight turned out.
Yeah, I think Nocturne just, oh my god, Kurtler's going on Warhead. Good stun mid.
But it's the counter strike.
It doesn't matter. He's actually live. Arrow's trying to go for a big play.
It's just a second late.
Actually gonna get the kill. But yeah, as I was saying, I think he just used the ulti here for the vision to help out the side of Grinchy Goons, and
yeah,
he does get a return kill. Actually, he does Side fighting against Roebuck. Roebuck trying to go use the ulti, trying to chase down weak side, going very aggressive here. Weak side, he's very tanky though. I don't think Roebuck, you have the damage for him. He's not gonna die, but no ignite. Weak side just be able to back off and able to live. At the same time, Guster Posey has priority to mid lanes, pushing this mid in the tower.
Yeah, I mean, Ornn's probably just gonna burn the TP here. He's fine with that. He's gonna keep buying. He's gonna keep scaling up. He's doing what he needs to do. I think, you know, giving that, they threw a lot back at the Crosspoint bot lane. You know, giving over these Yuumi kills, they were able to deny a lot of CS from Altruism. They were able to take a lot of tower platings. And Altruism before that hadn't been able to recall and spend his gold from the double kill he got at Dragon. Now he's going to be feeling a lot better with the Essence Reaver. But, you know, Caitlyn Karma, they're scaling up and they're actually, you know, able to actually get back ahead in this bot lane and put some pressure down.
Yeah, really, Yuumi just needs to stop getting caught out for particularly no reason, if I had to be blunt. I mean, really, I think Ezreal, if he has Yuumi on him, if she's attached, he's fine. Oh my god, look at that Q damage.
Yeah, Ezreal's so strong right now. You really don't have to force anything on Yuumi.
Arrow's got the root on Altruism. If he can get the root, but Guster Posey almost gonna get solo kill. He's not gonna get it in the bot side. We're going back in the fight. Nope, looks like there will be a survive. Altruism does live. Guster Posey also does live. Nothing happened from both sides of the map. And Roebuck, I think he's looking to make a play here. Does not have the Jax though. He has to be careful here. The pillar is available. Weakside Refugee does not go for an aggressive play. And all this talking, all these trading, in 5 seconds we're going to see a Mountain Drake spawn on both sides. And it looks like Crosspoint Origin getting in position.
Yeah, the Caitlyn Karma bot lane so much priority over this Ezreal Yuumi, especially now after what is basically a big throw before. They should be able to just rotate over and get it.
Oh my god, he's actually losing this so much here to be Ornn.
The Ornn is just happy. This is why Ornn has been strong for so long. Oh,
He's here comes
the dragon.
Going aggressive, too aggressive by altruism. Yumi's trying to keep him on. Has to flash away.
Caitlin's
Warhead,
dead.
he's caught away. Arrow, he's going to be caught on as well. That's another dead. Zillion ulti being used. Arrow's not going to die. Warhead trying to fight.
He gets
Warhead,
one.
a lamp, that's all he needs. He's trying to find a way. Oh my god, the Zillion bomb comes in. King Calenti also DC for the max. It's a disaster on the side of Crosspoint or on the disaster of Grinchy Goons. Grinchy Goons trying to run away. Gus Support, he still has the double up. If he gets a double up, good slow by Gus Support. Arrow trying to fight away. The fight continues. Vital Knocker, he's gonna keep fighting.
Dog.
Gets it done. Double bombs coming in. The blast comes in. He's gonna get a shutdown on Knocker. The fight continues. Meanwhile, Yumi's trying to fight away. Gus Support trying to go in, tries about, he misses. They're trying to chase him right.
The epic
Yumi,
Zillion Yumi 1v1.
Zillion, Yumi, just gonna auto away. Meanwhile, Caitlyn also comes in.
That's not gonna kill.
One auto away.
The
He's
shield.
so close. The fight continues.
Oh, the bomb. What is even happening? And the pause
there's a
comes out
pause.
here for King Caliente, I'm assuming, to reconnect. Well, that's a lot to unpack in that fight.
Yeah, look at this replay right here, Glacial. Oh my god.
I mean, they're just throwing themselves at each other. Honestly, probably one of the most coin flip fights I've ever seen in my entire life. Who even knows who's gonna win? Of course, at this point, Yumi's just sitting here, he's like, "Where my team, man? Who I attached to?" But Zillion's just gonna be able to burn him down. I mean, that's a pretty big fight for both sides. I'm not even sure like how many people died at the end of that, but what we saw there is a Crosspoint going for Dragon with the priority, and Grinchy Goons are able to find another collapse onto them and punish that Dragon.
Yeah, and I mean, Glacial, that team fight was just really ridiculous. First, you're going to see the replay here. King Caliente fighting against Warhead right now on Altruism. He gets caught out here. Great play for the Jax. He gets a 700 gold shutdown. And then now King Caliente's cut down in a really weird spot. Warhead fighting him away. And this Yumi keeping him alive. But in this entire chaos and entire period, we see the Nocturne walking up the river. And you can see King Caliente. He's going to try to look for a play here.
Yeah, Warhead maybe greeting for a play on a Syndra. He ends up getting picked off after that. Well, that shutdown was pretty big for him. You see Jax being pretty, I mean, he was pretty strong in that fight. He was actually able to turn it in favor of Crosspoint Origin, basically by himself, putting out a lot of damage, picking up the Nocturne, picking up, Ezreal. And he's going to definitely have to be the star carry here if Crosspoint want to pick up this game 3.
And let's look at this Dragon play right now. Crosspoint going for a fairly greedy Dragon play, all things considered. They do able to secure it. As they're trying pulling it back, they pull out the Dragon back.
This is
Warhead.
the first Dragon play, so Ezreal's going to come in for I mean, yeah, this is almost reminiscent of the last play we just saw, but instead of Crosspoint, able to actually win the fight. In this one, they do lose out, but now that Jax is starting to get some items, that's going to be a big threat to Grinchy Goons.
Yeah, and I mean, Kerndog getting caught again for another game, as you mentioned, right? But in this case, his team is there to back up. Ultram get a double kill in early Drake, securing that Drake and getting the Ocean on the board. The real question is, for both parties, and what we've seen time and time again, it's kind of a nature for both sides to go for these aggressive Dragon plays and kind of throw the fight. On the top side, we're going to see the early kill on the Ornn. I mean, you see Roblox here using a great job of the decoy, puts Warhead ahead, and at the same time, you had the bot lane fiasco with Yumi getting caught yet again, as you mentioned before, really.
Reads for that, though, so that's pretty bad for her. But yeah, I don't really understand. Gavrilo, I think his Gavrilo Princip has to clean up his Yumi in lane for sure. after some of the plays that he had early game, he just detaching, getting hit by like the net and the Karma Q and the Rue. I mean,
and I mean, it's so crazy, right?
You have to be
careful. You have Ezreal, who effectively has a built-in flash to his kit, and it just seems that the Yumi's is not respecting this lane, right? Altruism has definitely shown he can play the Ezreal. I mean, he popped off in game 2. He showed a lot of promise in the team fights when he played. He was very defensive. He was able to actually use the kite feature of his E very correctly with hitting Qs. And it seems that this Yumi this really isn't respected. I mean, obviously we see the first kill on Arrow here, overextending, kind of a theme.
Not respecting not only the minions, but also just Ezreal's damage.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just kind of a tale on both sides from both teams as we go back to the pause menu of lack of respect to their opponents. But right now, Glacial, if you had to be any of these teams, who would you want to be in this scenario? Because right now it's only a 1k goal lead for Grinchy Goons, but the way this game is going, really anyone's game, before being honest.
Yeah, so really what we have to focus on for Crosspoint, of course, is this Jax. He's 4-3. He does have, the most gold on his team by quite a margin, as we can see here. And as an AD carry player, I hate Jax, because you can't damage him. And if he has Flash Q, he can just go for the one-shot on you. So Altruism as fed as he does have to remember to respect just the dive and the pure damage of Jax. Pause
and
ends
we're
here.
back. We are back. There wouldn't be a Grinchy Goons Crosspoint Origin. It wouldn't be a CCS 2 stream without a random pause. We are back here.
Yep,
And,
yep.
I mean, really from both squads, right? You have the Herald up fairly soon. The classic stream pause coming in. And really right now, Glacial, if you're on the side of Grinchy Goons, Altruism doesn't have a good start. You expect him to basically more or less get back into the game. What do you think, if you're inside Crosspoint Origin, you can do to kind of get this Ezreal back more in balance and get this Caitlyn back up in the game?
Probably focus on just start breaking down these towers, you know, group up with the supports, and, you know, stay together, because the way Altruism's getting a lot of these kills is he's focusing on his opponent's mispositioning. He's looking for those moments to E forward and pump out the damage. If you could just respect his damage, play and wait for him to be the one to make the mistake. You have a lot of punish with the Wukong and the Jax, and if they get on top of him, there's really nothing he can do. So that's really what they're going to want to focus on here as far as shutting him down. And if they can kill him in these later game team fights, they should have no problem with the Wukong, with the Jax, with the Caitlyn, cleaning up everybody else on their team.
User will be able to secure this. A bit interesting things Cinder kind of pulled back with Wukong now. Buck trying to flank, gonna be shot up by the control ward. And overall, meanwhile, oh my god, we've seen this story before.
Yuumi will actually be able to pull the root. No, that's not good.
Huge damage coming. Here comes the ulti. He comes knocking, goes the ulti. They're trying to use the Yuumi ulti. Good Yuumi ulti comes in. Good Zillion bombs. Huge Zillion bombs. He does have the ulti by Zillion. He's gonna live. He's gonna respawn.
There's a
Continue to fight.
He's
gonna fight 1v1. Q1v2. That's gonna be kill on the other side. Kurnock, he's gonna go. The ult comes in. Altruism. Big damage comes in. And oh my god, this non-stop action for both teams. Another pause though.
Yeah, so bot lane 3v3, it looked at first, you know, Yumi's getting caught out, but then Kurndog comes in with the ultimate, and he's able to punish. It looks almost good for the side of Grinchy Goons, but Guster Posey really able to turn this fight around when he comes. He gets the root, gets the slow, and these bombs, he's going to pick up the bombs, walk in, get the stun, get the revive. That is some Zillion mechanics right there if I've seen. And meanwhile, all this time, they're using the 3v3 bot. They know they have the man advantage top lane, and they're able to get a kill, which is really good because, you know, seeing here Wukong down 2 levels to Ornn, that's not exactly where you want to be him. So you want to put him in a position where he's actually able to match the Ornn in the sidelines. So that's good from Crosspoint Origin here. Of course, King Caliente disconnected this whole time. He disconnects at the beginning. He's not able to walk top to contribute to anything. He's not able to teleport bot to contribute to anything. And I think that's pretty unfortunate from the side of Grinchy Goons. Maybe they would have been able to swing one of these fights in their favor if they had him around.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Caliente was somewhere in mid lane, more or less. I don't doubt he would be in these fights, but look what the Zillion does. He speeds himself up, it looks like. He comes in, does a double on me, ulties away, knows he's gonna die to the AoE damage around him, somehow revives himself, gets back in the fight. And really, from the side of Crosspoint Origin, I mean, just great play by Guster Posey. I think we've said this before. Guster Posey's been more of a consistent player from the side of Crosspoint Origin. Really, probably the most consistent solo laner, I'd say, besides Weak Side Refuge, who's been more or less played his Weak Side Refuge role. But yeah, look at his double bomb right here. Zillion runs in, he speeds in, gets the double stun. Ranger in the backline, autoing away, be able to place traps. And all this is going on Weak Side Refugee, just dying to the Wukong and Jax combo. So, as we're still in the pause, reminder, obviously only 10 minutes of pause time per game. We only have about 3 minutes remaining. So, realistically speaking here, Glacial, could be very soon for on pause to happen, for better or for worse, both scenarios. So right now, if you are on the side of Crosspoint Origin now, you have to be happy with the side of Guster Posey and how Guster Posey, excuse me, and Warhead and how they're playing this game so far.
Yeah, for Crosspoint Origin, in their wins that they have gotten, he's been the main man to sort of lead the squad. And we're seeing that again. He's making some good plays with the Zillion, being where he needs to help his team at. And if he can stay coordinated with Warhead on the Jax, he may not be the most fed player in the game, but there's a lot of potential for him to start getting really strong with all of these, you know, supportive enchanters here to buff him up. They're really going eggs in the basket onto this Jax. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, and the 2 minutes already in pause time. As this goes on, over Weak Side Refuge's second death of the series. He is, however, up almost 40 CS in the Wukong. As they tell him, he's still up 1,300 gold. So, I mean, not really the best for Wukong here, and Wukong's not going to be able to scale. The one thing that Wukong does have is obviously building in the backline, but with his Yuumi Ezreal, it should be quite difficult and pretty easy to kite him out.
Yeah, it's a very, very good performance from Weak Side Refugee. He does give up 2 kills to Jax so far in this game, and, you know, that's
not fantastic, but despite that, he's gotten no jungle attention for the most part in these games, and he's just able on his own to just put up a big CS lead, grab the plates, and you know that's what he needs to do. So,
Yeah,
in fact,
and I mean,
did he get a solo kill in this clip? Top lane? I don't see
believe
anyone
so.
top lane, and Wukong's just dead.
Yeah, I believe so. You are great point out the Glacial. And going back to another case, this was the interesting fight from the Jax on the Ezreal. Good flash view on the Ezreal. Get the shutdown to start on their gold. Kincalente stuck in a very awkward position. Arrow coming with the root. But really just great job of the Yuumi here, clutching on the Kincalente, getting the damage into Syndrome, and just kind of keeping
Yuumi
it alive.
actually attached to someone, and it was
True.
actually good. Holy, who would have seen that?
You know, it's almost like that Yuumi champion can be used properly if played properly, and like we've already seen the disaster that was a Dragon Pit on the side of Crosspoint Origin. And really have to watch this Ezreal flank right here. So Warhead's taking about 3 Drake shots out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Ezreal's EQs,
I mean,
autos.
they can't stay for that long.
No.
He had the flash up, but I mean, so did Era. They just were not really respecting the play, the collapse potential from Ezreal. Even though they have the priority, you have to get that dragon and do it fast. And if not, the enemy team can come and collapse.
Yeah. And obviously we're gonna watch a replay of the weak side refuge kill. As you go back to these plays, and really, we should be expecting an unpause very soon. Obviously, the pause time room is down, but again, we saw this in Grave Ranger, as you mentioned, very greedy on that Yuumi. Though to be fair, if the Yuumi's positioning, I understand the Greed's perspective is Yuumi definitely not respecting the range of Caitlyn.
And looks like the game's unpaused here. I'm not sure if King Caliente was able to get back into the game, but you know, here they are. They're just out of time.
My
now.
God,
Oh my.
blow him up!
And Yumi's just caught detached again somehow. Just keeps dying.
Yuumi living up to her name, very glacial, as you mentioned before, and as we get the classic Riot bug issue after his pause. Another kill from the side of Crosspoint Origin. I mean, just look at this priority, right? If this mid laner from the side of Grinchy Goons is not back, we're going to be able to see here a big situation. This map, ooh, very big.
Very clown ending to what may some describe as a very clown series.
True.
But
very true.
so hopefully we could see Syndra getting back here, and of course Crosspoint Origin are gonna take advantage of their numbers here. Just send 3 bot lane, break down the tower, somehow get a kill on Yuumi as well in the process. You know, great. They'll take what they can get. They'll take a tower. They're gonna take top tower here. You see, as soon as the mid laner's gone, you just see these, you know, the pressure's just fallen from Grinchy Goons, and Crosspoint are now just gonna be back even in this game. So
yeah, why not, right? I mean, there is no Syndra. You have a lot of priority. Weak side refugee. He is currently on the Wukong. I mean, obviously, Syndra's still there in base. Unfortunately, no pause time allocated anymore.
I mean, part of League of Legends
Warhead.
is having the internet to play it.
Warhead trying to go back up. Here comes the Orn ulti, trying to go in, but the stun from Jax comes in. He's gonna stun before the ulti comes in. That should be dead on Orn. He's trying to fight back. Wukong ulti still available. Another ulti available, but the Yuumi keeps Orn alive. No, Orn doesn't follow
Yuumi
here.
detaches
Warhead
instead, actually.
Warren should be dead though. Kindrak's gonna pick it up. Yes.
No, they're happy taking a 1-for-1 for that, for sure. It looks like they would just be able to walk out with, you know, the Ornn there, canceling the Ornn ultimate with the counter strike, but they are actually able to chase him down, get it. Of course, they do pay their life for it.
Oh my
Looks
God!
like we have another engage going in.
And Yuumi comes in. You're gonna try to blow him up, but the revive does come in. No, it doesn't. Ranger has the revive. He's actually gonna be flipped to revive. Gravely trying to move damage. Very close for Ranger. They're trying to cap echo. They have to be careful here. And Gus Abrosi dies using the revive not on himself but on the Caitlyn. And great job by Grinchy. Oh my God, they're showing
Altruism. It's the W. Oh, he is into the wall, has to flash. He's just dead.
He's just gonna blow up the Caitlyn ulti. Gus, he's gonna be next to Gus. He's gonna try to go Olivia. Gavera, he's trying to die. Yuumi should be dead here. 1 out of the way. Ranger gets the auto. 1 more David Ranger to double kill here on the side of Crosspoint Origin. This game, all of a sudden, unfortunate may be the lack of the Syndra here showing off big. And that's gonna be Dragon here in 17 seconds from the side of Crosspoint Origin.
I mean, yeah, Ezreal, he hits the W. Looks like he's about to go for a big hero play, but the teleport comes in. He panics for a second. He eased into the wall, has to flash out, but it's not going to save him. You know, the TP move speed comes in. They're just able to CC and blow him up with the Caitlyn ultimate. And, yeah, I mean, it's just a disaster for Grinchy Goons here. You know, playing in a 4v5 in a series that basically, you know, determines what their fate might be in the CCS. You know, if they lose this game to Crosspoint Origin, we may see them be contending for the 10th place spot when they really want to be fighting for at least 7 to 8, stay inside the league. But, you know, very unfortunate for here. So we'll see how long Grinchy Goons can hold on.
Be careful there, Glacial. I think they're cuts out Wukong here. Wukong, he's gonna be caught. He's actually go very aggressively. Wukong, good ulti usage here, but the UV health is just too much. Wukong is dead. That is
Yuumi
not
is
what you want to see.
so fed. But yeah, I mean, despite Grinchy Goons being down a player, somehow they still managed to catch someone out 3 versus 1.
Is it crazy for you to say, Glacial? They're down a player, but I still don't know if Crosspoint won this game.
Yeah, I mean, if they make plays like that, it's definitely possible. I mean, people are just dying. They're not really getting anything return on the other side of the map. Not even the Herald. Everyone was just recalling, so that's just a big, mistake from Roebuck being pushed up that far into the bot lane. And, as bad as things are, you have the kills where you need them on Grinchy Goons. You have the kills on Ezreal. You have the kills on Nocturne.
Hold on for a second here. Here comes Nocturne with the ulti, with the UV. UV ulti comes in. Nocturne, he's trying to fight away. So much damage. The flea. Guster Posey is dead. Arrow trying to fight away. Somehow, someway, Grinchy Goons is winning these fights.
Ezreal's here.
Ultras come in. Krung comes in. Here comes the ulti. Weak side refugee. Double ulti comes in. Arrow is dead. Warhead. He's trying to back up. There is no Lampa. There is no life. Somehow, someway, Grinchy Goons wins a fight again. 4v5 down.
Who the hell needs a mid laner when you can just play together? They keep fighting, they got the kills where they need. This Nocturne is so strong with the Yuumi. This Ezreal is so strong with the follow-up.
Oh,
and
well.
it wasn't even
Wukong
close.
trying to go aggressive. Wukong, be careful. I have to use heal here on Ranger. Ranger,
Rundong
he's
is
trying to go
taking.
aggressive. Very aggressive by Ranger. Trying to shoot Gale Forces in.
Oh,
Very
tower.
questionable. Oh,
Tower.
Oh, pick
Oh
off
my
on Ultras and he's dead. Wukong,
That's
huge
just a
play there.
mistake.
But he did have to use
Ezreal
Flash.
takes 2 tower
Oh,
shots.
watch out here,
all
Guster
charged
Posey.
up.
Good slow comes in. Should be a double bomb.
They wanna punish.
Ice Storm comes in here. It's not Everfrost guarding, get him down. Should be another stun. Here's the bomb. Oh, bomb does not hit. That's gonna be a
Yuumi
lot of damage.
detaches again.
Should be
She's
dead.
dead.
Yuumi, she's gonna blow up. No, she's somehow alive.
What?
He lives. Somehow, some way, this Yuumi does not get punished for another detach him. Wow, just really doing a very interesting set of plays here from the side with Crosspoint and Grinchy Goons. You're gonna try to take mid tower here for Crosspoint Origin. You have to be careful though.
We saw a really good play from Grinchy Goons using the Nocturne and the Yuumi combo to basically just throw themselves at him. They have a big gold lead, so they're able to win that fight. But then maybe an overextension at the mid lane tower, and
Oh
they
my god,
lose a lot of that
Kurno's
pressure.
gonna go in. He's gonna blow up.
flashes
Caitlyn, no.
in.
Kai back to Caitlyn. Good ulti by the side of Zillion. Zillion trying to get away.
Stun
Stuns
bomb.
away. He's gonna be away. Kurnog is actually dead. The aggressive play does not work. Shutdown on Zillion. Huge play here by Guster Posey.
He flashes in 1 versus 3. This might be the desperation getting to him as he looks for the hero play. But Guster Posey, with the Zillion ult, with the stuns, with the Everfrost, able to just keep him locked in place and be like, yeah, I mean, you're here now, but we can just keep you locked up. Who are you going to kill? Who are you flashing for? And, with that kill, it's just looking dire for Grinchy Goons. They're still up gold, even with their mid laner AFK for the past however many minutes. But
I lost count there, Glacial, I'm gonna be honest.
Crosspoint is, finding what they need to find now to close out this game. For a second, it was looking like Grinchy Goons might just be able to, stomp their way with the Ezreal, with the Nocturne, into a 4v5 and win. But with them both falling here, the desperation, maybe a little bit of tilt getting to them. So if we want to see them make any sort of, miraculous 4v5 win in this game, we'll have to see them focus up. And we'll have to see them play with their 4 team members.
I mean, it's a 4v5, but the gold lead's like basically. Oh my god, here comes Ari trying to go super aggressive. He's gonna be caught out again here. Yuumi trying to catch him out the roof.
Arrow's just dead.
More ulti comes in here. Ranger be caught out as well. Calicate's back in the
And
fight.
Syndra is back, the biggest play so far.
Ulti here by Wukong. Wukong in the backside. He's gonna be fleet away. The fear comes in. Wukong. Another ulti to Wukong. They're actually Jax go
It's a
crazy.
disaster.
Forehead, he's jumping it in.
Grinchy.
Kurnog may be dead. No, Kurnog supposedly comes in. No, yes, he's dead. On the side of Ultra, also dead. Ranger gets the auto. They're going in. Weak side refugee. He's the only one left. They're trying to get him and trying to go in. Every day dive him. Yes, they are. Weak side somehow comes back actually in the fight. So Roback, he's gonna go back in. Junks jumps in. That's a wipe on the side of Grinchy Goons. An effective wipe, all things considered. And oh my god, Crosspoint now take the advantage. And all of a sudden.
Syndra coming back, there's like a sign of hope, but still having those internet issues, and this is exactly what you want to do if you're the Crosspoint team. Look at these bruisers just going in, enabled by the Zillion and the Karma, and Jax, when he gets on this backline, he's just a menace. Who's gonna kill him? Now he's just absolutely massive in this game, I believe, with 9 kills. He is just disgustingly fed on this Jax, and even with Syndra possibly coming back, they have a uphill battle against them. Because I'm gonna tell you now, I don't know who's gonna kill this Jax for the rest of the game.
I mean, it's gonna take. Really, it's gonna take a miracle play. And it's gonna be another Infernal inside of Crosspoint Origin. I mean, they have thrown 3-1 leads before, as is tradition, throwing 3-1 leads. Is Grinchy gonna sneak a Baron here? Oh, baby, actually, we're gonna make the call. We're gonna sneak the Baron here. Honestly, I like the desperation play of Grinchy Goons. You're down 4v5.
But the teleport's coming in there onto
Oh
them.
my god, Wukong, he knows Weekside Refugee comes away. Weekside Refugee, the ult comes in, huge on the
altruism.
Caitlyn. Big damage, oh no! Blocked by Weekside Refugee. Here comes Wukong, big damage in.
Oh, but look at the
Here
Jax.
comes Jax,
He's
jumps
just
out.
a menace, he gets
Altruism is
one.
dead. Altruism is going crazy, no! He's gonna die, Weekside Refugee's dead as well. That should be another effective
It's a
Crosspoint
massacre.
Origin. Oh
Absolute
lord!
horror for Grinchy Goons. The Baron play just goes the worst way possible. They lose every member of their team. Jax just gets 2 more kills. You're basically just like, you know, just keep taking the gold at this point. I mean, if you're Grinchy Goons, you gotta pull out the desperation plays
yes.
from the playbook, but they are not going in their favor. And Crosspoint
No, I mean,
is responding
Warhead.
correctly.
Yeah, as you said, Warhead. I mean, the fact there's no Syndra now, there's no fear of being pushed back with the stun. He jumps on the altruism, he jumps on the backline, he goes crazy. They should be Baron on the side of Crosspoint Origin. Yes, they should be able to push this game to the end. And unless the King himself returning, this should be game for Crosspoint Origin. I mean, I've seen crazier things happen. I really have. But this
I mean,
oh, wait for a second. Wukong's actually just dead for no reason.
The classic inch for the tower play, in for the inhibitor play. We've seen it a few times this series, but, you know, they get a pick. How much is it really going to matter? You know, Syndra's still gone, and, you know, unlike last game...
he's back. Return of the King?
Unlike
maybe?
last game, where, you know, Grinchy Goons had that comeback chance, because really all their kills were on the Ziggs. The Darius wasn't very strong. The Akshan was kind of running it down. You know, the Echo wasn't really able to press his ultimate button. And that's how they were able to find their way back into the game. But here,
he's
Jax...
He's back, Glacial.
Alright, well, he's
Syndra.
back. If
There's still hope. There's still hope.
This game, here it is.
Well, I told you, we're not ending until 10 p.m. EST. And my man King Caliente says, ladies and gentlemen, the King has returned. You know, if Grinchy Goons somehow wins this game, I have no... Wait for a second. Kernog's gonna walk in the bush. He's gonna walk in the bush. Blast comes in.
Kerndog
Comes
pulls
in.
the
Arrow.
Kerndog
Gonna
and
get this
face
rooted.
checks
Here
it.
comes in. Huge ultimate here by Orn. He's gonna have a huge knockup, but he's not gonna be enough. King Caliente, he's back in the team fight though.
Look
I
at
think
this Jax, he's just such a menace.
Ooh, and there's the stun here from the side of King Caliente. That's what they were missing these fights.
If
Lack of
only
Syndra.
they had the Syndra, exactly. I mean, this Jax is still so fed. You might be able to peel him, you might be able to keep him off the carries, but how are you going to kill anybody?
Oh my god, Altruism losing crazy! He's not gonna be able to kill no Arrow, somehow survives. Altruism actually ends! Oh no, this could be disaster for Cyber Grinchy Goons. They're gonna change that
that's
Warrior,
just
he's
gonna
going
be it
in.
here.
It could be. Maybe Weekside Refugee's taking a lot of damage. Warrior, he's going
Both.
crazy. He's going sicko mode. King Caliente, he's trying to fight. Weekside Refugee, one out of the way. Wukong's gonna blow him up. It's gonna
All the carries are dead.
Syndra, it isn't your moment. She has to be able to fight away. Jax flashes
Warhead
forward
goes in
aggressively.
forward.
King Caliente, he should be able to. He's dead. That should be the series. Meanwhile, Knocker, he comes
Nocturne's
in.
back.
Wukong's been caught out. He's going a little too aggressive. There should be a kill on the side of Crosspoint Origin. I don't know if it's enough, though. It is a 4v2 here. Kerndog is taking a miracle play here.
They have the Baron.
They don't have Karma. This should be very great, but they do have Ranger. Ranger trying to end this game. Stun, misses from Guster Posey. Kerndog, he's going aggressive. Actually, excuse me, Ezreal's back in 3 seconds. Yumi, detached.
Warhead's
No,
going
it's a
in.
bait. Warhead batches it, but here comes
Warhead's
Ezreal.
gonna die.
Oh my god, Warhead trolled. Ranger's still available. He's trying to kite back. He could cut the ulti. He's kiting. Kerndog. Yes, he's dead.
Ranger gets
This is
one.
moment. Ranger gets one. No, he gets the other. Altruism keeps going.
This
The
is
event comes in.
Altruism's
Guster
game.
throws him. Altruism, he needs to fight this way. He's gonna flash
Flash
in.
comes
Good flash
out.
by Altruism. Arrow's gonna come. I think he's trying to. I don't think they can end the game. They have to back off. The Arrow comes in.
Grinchy
Huge
Goons
damage.
is going to hold on. The Orn ult is coming
He's
out.
gonna miss both a Justin Tucker by the Orm, and they're gonna still keep going back. Guster Posey trying to get to double, does not get it. Weekside Refuge still backing back, and Arrow and Guster Posey, for whatever reason, they're still in fighting here. I think they have to reset, and they finally do. What was that, Glacial?
I mean, it's just maybe over eagerness from the side of Crosspoint. You know, Warhead being like, okay, the Yumi's inted 8 times this game already. Somehow playing one of the safest champions, has the most deaths in the game.
It's a
but
talent.
He sees blood in his eyes. He goes for the Yumi. He actually gets baited under the tower. He just dies.
I mean, some zillion damage is kind of ridiculous. I would say some, for us, Glacial, we're just not. We're at the level to understand the Yumi right now, because
Yeah.
God, this Yumi is ascended. Not just a third eye. This Yumi's 4-5 is open right now.
Yes,
It's really a different level right now. But Yumi, a potential another bait. He's alone again. He has to be really good. He's very squishy. I don't think he realizes how much Zillion does right now.
Now, as nice as it is to have that shutdown on Ezreal, Jax is still insanely fed. The
Oh my
Syndra
god!
still has less gold than the Karma, but they're looking for the play.
He's trying to play. They're trying to go in Zillion. You know, damage comes in. Zillion, he's still left untouched. Atrium, he's trying to Zillion. Wukong, he's trying to go in.
They
Deco comes in.
just do
Ulti
no
comes in.
damage.
Kerndog, he's not going to be able to die. He's going to die. Yes, he does. He's still alive. He can reattach on the Ezreal. Coming back. Meanwhile, the huge Zillion bomb! Coster Bose, he may have just won the game! This could be it! Ranger kills it off! Big Sen should be dead! Yugi should be dead! That should be the win! Unless a miracle happens, no! That's the series! That's the game! Crosspoint Origin! It's over!
Crosspoint with the two supports
God.
keeping everybody alive, the double block to seal the fate of this game. And, you know, at the end there, they just lacked the damage to break through these bruisers, break through the Zillion, break through the Karma. Caitlyn's hit her 3 items, and it's just too much for Grinchy Goons to be able to defend against. And Crosspoint do take the series 2-1.
My God. I just... You know, I don't really have words. They really express what I just witnessed, Glacial. I'm gonna let you speak first. I don't really know what to say right now. Kerna just... That was a series. That's all I'm gonna say. That was just incredible.
I don't know if we have statistics for this prepared, but this has to be at least nearing the most kills in any CCS series,
100%.
maybe ever in the existence of this entire league.
Not including best of fives, probably. Yeah.
Even this game, which was like 12 minutes shorter than the other one, probably sped up by the disconnect from King Caliente. He actually has the lever warning in the post-game lobby. A little bit unfortunate there. But
yeah, and I mean,
still a bloodbath. 57 kills on the game. It's just everyone's just dying. And, you know, Crosspoint, they did fall in the second game. They had a big lead, but they were able to, you know, keep their resolve, you know, keep playing the way that they wanted to play the game, and they're able to come through with a big win in this game.
Yeah, and I mean, as you're waiting for Crosspoint Origin to kind of get set us their winner interviewee, I mean, this was definitely a series. I mean, I'm curious what would have happened if King Caliente was actually not VC'd, if he's actually able to play. I never got to see that. But before we go to the winner's interview, we're going to do a very short break. Someone from Crosspoint Origin will join us here for a winner's interview, and we will see the winners themselves join us, describing this truly, truly wonderful series.
Stick around.
We are joined here by the winner himself, the captain, taking down Grinchy Goons, support extraordinaire, Arrow. Welcome, Arrow, to the winner's interview.
Thanks.
So this is your first win in the CCS. You know, a big victory. It was a really long series, really back and forth. Tell me, what are some of your first thoughts coming out of the series?
We got bored. So,
Are you sure you got bored?
well,
I gotta say,
the
me.
rest of the season,
Yes.
like we got
Yes.
bored throughout the entire season, so we just
Yes, true.
just said fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, that seemed like the mentality going in. You started off the series with some, you know, pretty unconventional stuff, breaking out the Senna Wukong bot lane. Senna, I know, is one of your favorite champions. And this whole series, you're giving Warhead the picks he wants to play on. He's playing the lethal tempo Shyvana in the first game with the exhaust, very strong, able to come in clutch in some fights, and then the Jax in this game as well, along with the Darius jungle. So what went into some of these unconventional picks? What was your sort of mentality behind the draft?
That's just his champ pool, to be completely honest. Like there's not really like unconventional picks. They're just kind of like, Warhead, what do you want in here? And he's like, I'm thinking Shyvana, or like I'm thinking Jax, and that's just kind of just how that went. Like that's just what the man plays.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing I was found very interesting. I obviously know you like the Senna a lot. I'm not surprised you guys like first picked it game 2. I'm surprised you guys picked it game 1 as well. But the Wukong bot lane, I mean, that does seem almost like a triple, maybe like a quadruple flex for you guys. What was your mindset coming into game 1, picking that Wukong set in the bot lane? What was your plan with it?
At like 1 p.m. my time central, I messaged Giancarlo and was like, "Hey, what bruisers do you play?" And he said Wukong, and I was like, "All right, we're playing Senna Wukong," and that was it. And I walked in like, I mean, to be honest, this is the first game of League that I've played since last Thursday. Like, that's kind of how we've been playing all season. Like, we just kind of joined to have fun. So we kind of like came into it. I didn't even tell my team until like draft. I was like, "Oh, by the way, we're playing Senna Wukong," and then we locked it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also just coming into this game, you've like you just said, you're trying to have fun throughout the season. Was there anything with your mentality that sort of changed going into the season that might have been able to, give you the edge up, whereas maybe you didn't have it before?
If we didn't lose like 3 of our players after we signed up for the league, like if you go back and look, we haven't played with the same roster at all. Like every week is just a completely different roster. I mean, the first 3 weeks we were literally trying out mids and jungles. Like in games, we'd like get the tryout and be like, "All right, you're playing with us tonight. Let's see how you do." And like not knowing who any of these people are.
That reminds me of some of the RPG early season roster nonsense we had going on.
And then like just taking Gus out of the jungle. I mean, like Gus and I have been doing Crosspoint Origin for 5 or 6 years at this point. Just like the same people, and like the people that we lost was like my ADC, who I built again 5 or 6 years of synergy with in the bot lane, and he just like, no, I'm not playing at all. So he kind of resigned. So like then we moved Gus out of the jungle into the mid lane. So like that's an interesting thing. So it's just the team, like from week 1, the team was just no longer Crosspoint Origin. So now like we just kind of sat back and we're just like, you know what, we're just gonna try a bunch of things and have fun. So everyone's like, "Yeah, you're 0-6, y'all suck," and it's like, I mean, we don't care. We're just having fun. We're not trying. We're not like really going at it like, "Oh, we have to win." It's just like, "Oh, let's just have some fun. Let's do this."
Yeah, and I mean, coming in this game, obviously, you guys basically played the role of spoilers. It's kind of like I think more or less your season so far. You guys have taken games off of Horizon, if I recall. I think you guys took a game off of someone else, if I remember. I think it's Iconic, if I recall. So you've definitely like played spoilers before, like forcing games to game 3, and it's always interesting seeing like the mentalities of a lot of these bottom teams. For you guys coming in this game, knowing that Grinchy Goons basically had to win, how does it feel to know you've more or less kind of ended their season right now?
We're not happy about how we won. Like, we're not happy that it was a 4v5. We're not happy about that at all. We just kind of was like, hey, like they paused, and so like my top laner was like trying to invite their top laner to play chess, and like we're playing Pokemon Showdown, and then they were like, "Oh, we're gonna unpause in 20 seconds." We're like, "Wait, what?" And then we just kind of came back to the game unpaused. We're like, "Oh, we guess the person came back." And
obviously,
then we realized it was a 4v5, and we're like, "Oh, okay." So like we weren't paying attention at all. We're just doing other things. We felt kind of bad, so like it doesn't feel great, but I mean, and we're pretty much out of playoffs anyway, so like it kind of sucks that we like knocked them out of it. But in the fashion and like it being on stream, a 3-game, like where game 1 was like fire and game 2 was interesting, and I'm glad it was like that we had fun doing it. It just kind of sucks.
So if you get placed in 7th or 8th, you will avoid the relegations. Is that something you're going to be aiming for here? Maybe bring some of this momentum from this game into next week, or are you just going to keep playing a little bit carefree, play your game, and then just see what happens from there?
So next week, we accidentally scrimmed those guys.
PGO?
No, the Iconic guys or something like that. So like we accidentally scrimmed those guys and we won. So like maybe we'll just do that again. I don't know. I usually don't like scrimming people that we're playing against.
Right.
I just I found a team on Gangster and we started scrimming like, oh, by the way, we play you guys like week 8 or something. I was like, oh, okay, my bad. And I sent those screenshots to Flay just to have some fun with it. And so like we won, but I don't think we're going into it next week like trying like relegations. I mean, to be completely honest with you, my top laner is also like having some IRL stuff. So after this split, I think he's moving to a sub role. So I still don't have a complete team. So it just depends on what's going on.
So then kind of like my final question, at least for me personally, I think Gus play exceptionally well in the mid lane. Obviously, starting the jungle role. I think I was pretty happy with, especially with his Zillion play. I thought that was a really. We had a replay, so in his Zillion mechanics, he's kind of like sped himself up into a double bomb and actually stunned him. For Gus, it seems like he's a player that playing jungle now in the mid lane has a pretty big champion pool. The diversity says. What does that say about your team to have a player like Gus? You have a lot of experience with, who can kind of pull out these interesting picks and give teams a run for their money in the mid lane.
So no matter where Gus is playing, he's been in every role in this team in one way or the other. So it's like his champ pool is quite literally, and no matter who disagrees with us, like his champ pool, like he knows enough about every champion in the game to just be like, oh, I can pick this. And even if it's like, if he has to sit back in mid lane to like learn the champion until level 6, like just to remind himself how to play it, and then he'll do fine later. I mean, we kind of have him on like control mages kind of thing with the way that are and control. Every control mage plays the same. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, like Vex is basically just like Annie, so he can pretty much whip that out. And if you can't play Annie, just leave. So it's just one of those things. Like he's just really good. He plays literally every champion, and so like when he's in the jungle, we just put him on Diego because he can play everything.
Any final questions from you, Glacial?
So in that first game, which was a very, very long, very back and forth game, so many different points where either team was in the lead. What was it that went into that final call to just go for the backdoor play and end it?
When they for some reason all showed on a ward going to Baron, and we had 2 TPs, and both of our people that had TP had a Sheen item, and we only saw Ornn there. So it was just like, all right, let him go Baron. We'll just TP in and end it. And this is while we were all running out of the base. So we purposely held those 2 back. We ran up, and then we let I think I was dead or something like that. So I let we just made Sergeant Roebuck, Pantheon, and Shyvana dive on top of them to stop the backs, and they just kind of flashed and E'd and dashed behind the Ornn and ended the game. It was just, I don't know, it was like really telegraphed. Like you guys were like hyping it up, and we're over here like it seemed like a really basic play to us. We were really confused why it was so hype. We were like, oh, okay, cool. We're glad that it ended that way. It's kind of funny that it ended that way, but yeah. But we also like didn't feel like we were ever like. I mean, yeah, there was a couple like mistakes, but game 1 we kind of felt like we were in the driver's seat the entire time. We knew we were going to lose early. We knew we were going to be behind and everything like that, just because like Sen and Wukong doesn't really turn on until 6, and Wukong needs an item. And I had to scale up a little bit on the Senna, so it was kind of interesting. We're just happy that Pantheon popped off as well as he did.
Yeah.
Like switching Gus and Sergeant Roebuck, the Lucian going top, and then Sergeant Roebuck going mid against the Akali. Like that was the big thing that game. And we're glad that we worked out.
Yeah, there was a lot of solo kills in those games. A big laner gap to help make up for what started off as a big lead for Kai'Sa was shut down very easily by you guys towards the end. But I have to mention, I did see you guys try to make a similar backdoor play in the second game, and that didn't work out too well. So, like, what was sort of going into some of these desperation plays that might have been happening to close out game 2?
At that point, we just kind of said, fuck it. We were in the driver's seat, and then, like, our ADC had to like disconnect, and then we came back and we were like, oh, okay, what's going on? We didn't know what was going on. And then like my stupidity, I forgot that my jungler was playing Darius. So like he gets caught in this weird position, and I'm like, oh, I'll just throw a W. And then they see me and they're like, oh, we'll just go kill the Senna. And I'm like, oh yeah, Darius can just get out. So I just got like, I got caught out a lot because like, and like Echo got caught out a lot because we're like we're like, oh, we can make this play or we can do this. And we just weren't on the same page with our jungler at that time. So like, we're like, oh, we should go with everybody else. We're like, oh no, we can probably make this play. And that's kind of what it was. There was just a lot of miscommunication in game 2. Personally, I've never really played with Darius jungle. That's not a pick we ever practiced. That again, that was literally just, hey, pick me Darius, and we did it.
And so this was a very back and forth series, a lot of action. But if you think out of all the players in your team, if you had to give an MVP to one of them, who would it be?
I don't know. Probably between like Sergeant Roebuck and Gus. Like the Zillion plays were insane. The Lucian being able to pretty much do as much damage as he needed to game 1 was insane. But I feel like games 1 and 2, like Sergeant Roebuck had a lot of control. Game 3, he fell asleep because he really got tired of playing against Ornn. Like he was so bored, so he just started playing
Yeah.
support Wukong. But probably one of those two. I don't know. Who would you guys give it to?
It's hard to say, but I do
Probably
think
Gus.
yeah,
honestly.
Guster Posey was able to have a pretty big influence on game one. One of the few players that tended to get caught out a little bit less. Probably
Mhm.
had a lot of stability, got pretty strong in that game, and then here in this this next win with the Zillion, just able to keep things chugging along and end up closing out the game pretty easily.
Yeah,
I mean, Warhead was a good
There you go.
second as well. He got
Yeah.
fed as hell on the Jacks that game 3. That was really nice.
Yeah.
maybe just my bias towards Zillion players. Because I did enjoy Gus's Zillion game 3. I think it did help that we didn't have, what do you call it, Cinder didn't have flash, which kind of helped his laning phase, but very well played. Yeah, that was a banger of a series. You couldn't have asked for anything more fun to watch, to be honest. And it was definitely besides losing my voice, it was very fun to cast.
Can I make a call out? Like,
Mhm.
and this may be like kind of spicy. Who's their jungler? Like,
Their
no,
jungle?
their support. Their support. I can't pronounce his name. I can't see.
Oh, is the
Gravio?
Stick to your engaged
Gavel?
tanks, bro. Like, you're really good, but like the Janna was questionable, and Yuumi, if you're not gonna just stay attached, like you W'd off in my face like 6 times, and then like the way that Mantra Tether works, like I was just able to like stop you whenever I needed to. So just stick to your tanks, and you guys will probably win out.
Yeah, don't worry. I think we flamed this guy's Yumi enough on the
I don't want to
stream.
flame him, but like if they have
Yeah.
they have like a chance. I don't know that we do. So it's like I want to see them go, honestly.
Like if you guys are gonna put me on Yumi duty, I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. Oh man.
All right. Well, thank you, Arrow, for joining us. Thank you, everyone else, for joining us. It's been a very exciting and long CCS series. If you want to see more CCS action, Wednesday and Thursday of next week, we have week 8. A lot of playoff implications. A lot of storylines still developing. Thank you, everyone, for attending. I'm Flay, joined by Glacial. Thank you, Arrow, for joining us as guest. Congratulations on the win. Appreciate everyone for joining up. Hope you have a great night, and have a great rest of your weekend.
Thanks for watching, guys. Good night.
Good night, guys.